are you guys in the process on New World Order?
We start in about 2 months.
Tuned into the greatest. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
The Sultan of SWAT. The King of Crash. The Colossus of Clout. The Colossus of Clout.
Yo, this is Nappy Boy Radio Live.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
You so crazy. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Everybody stay where you are. Chill the F out.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I am Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka.
Well, around here, between Normandy and Weston, we call this here a little twin. Wow.
It's simple. We kill the Batman.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Tell me, do you bleed? You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
These white men are dangerous.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out.
Oh my God, you want to talk about mothers? Oh, you want to talk about mothers? It's mother time.
Move, Captain. I won't ask a second time.
It's no moon. It's a space station.
It's too big to be a space station.
Here at WIZ, we play nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits. Nothing but the motherfucker.
I ain't scared of you, mother.
What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics? How is everybody's Monday this evening? I hope you guys are all having a great Monday. I hope that you guys are, hope everybody had a good start to their week. Oh, I guess that would have been yesterday, huh? Yesterday was Sunday, so yesterday would have been the start of your week. But I hope that everybody's having a great start to your week with your Monday. I hope that you guys had a blessed Monday. I hope that everybody's coming in ready to talk about some of the things that we all love to talk about, the things that we enjoy discussing. I see everybody in the chat so far. I appreciate every single one of you being here. Again, happy Monday to everyone. So let's get into everybody that's here. Appreciate it. Connoisseur Triple Salute. Appreciate you being here, Raptor Cloak. Appreciate you being here, D Stizzle, Andre Ware, Groovy. Appreciate you being here, CGZ, Snyder Steppenwolf. Appreciate it, Official EMG, Zang Beto. Who else we have in here? Appreciate all of you guys being here this evening. Appreciate the ones that have liked this stream thus far. If you have not liked this stream, go ahead and like this stream. Give this stream a like. It definitely helps us out over here in the algorithm and things like that, so we can push the content out to more potential future fanatics that want to join our vastly ever growing family over here. And also, if you would like to, if you're new here and you don't get to hear this spill all the time, if you're new and you want to join our Discord, the link is down below in the bio. You can join our Discord. There are vast amounts of conversation going on in there, from anime, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, etc. You name it, they're talking about it. So if you would like to join our Discord, the link is down below in the bio. It's also the easiest way for me to get in contact with you for when we do giveaways, and we do them every Friday. So if there's something that you if there's something that you win during one of the giveaways, again, it's the easiest way for me to get your contact information through there. And we also have a channel on there now to where if there is a topic that you see throughout the day or the week that you feel I should be discussing here on the show, you can enter that topic on that topic's channel there on the Discord, and then I will go through that and obviously we'll talk about it here on the show. So if there's something that you feel I should be discussing or you want to hear my thoughts or comments on, you can put that in that channel down there. So like I said, appreciate everybody being here. We're going to jump into some things this evening that we definitely got to talk about. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into everything. I guess I'll give a little update here. I'll tell y'all what, the supervising position is kicking my ass. Day 2. Day 2, and it is kicking my black ass. I am so grateful for this position. I'm so grateful to be in this position, things like that. It's tedious. It's tedious. Anything that comes with a new position, especially when you are the boss, it's very tedious. But I'm still going, bro. It's just kicking my fucking ass. So we're gonna get into everything, though. Oh yeah. You guys notice? Okay, all right. I'm drinking fucking water. I don't know if Cornelius is in the stream. I don't know if he's watching or not. You know, he be coming in sneaking. He sneaks his comments in every now and then. He normally just watches. He used to comment all the time, but now Cornelius just watches. I don't know if you're watching, Cornelius, but I'm drinking water, bro. Cornelius is the one that told me I'm extremely unhealthy for drinking nothing but pop, and I didn't disagree with him. I agreed with him. It is extremely unhealthy because before I got this bottle of water today, I couldn't even tell you the date of the last time I had water, and I'm not exaggerating. It's not good. It's not good. It's extremely unhealthy. I am very much aware of how unhealthy it is. That's why I am drinking nothing but water. I'm going to have a pop tonight, but I haven't had a pop all day. But I'm going to have one tonight, bro. Fuck that shit. I'm having one tonight. But I'm going to drink this water through the stream, and I've had this shit since 9 a.m. If this was a pop, this would be gone. But I'm drinking water, bro. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be fucking healthy. I'm trying to be right, you know? So I'm going to drink water, and it's life water. Everybody's like, oh my God, don't you love it? Doesn't it? Everybody at work was like, doesn't it taste so good? Bro, it tastes like water. I mean, I get it. I know that different water tastes different. I understand, bro. Dasani, fucking disgusting. I understand different water tastes like, different. This is just water. Just water. But, hey, I'm going to drink the life water and because it says pH balanced. So I'm going to drink my life water and be happy. But, like I said, Liam, bro, it's just water to me. I don't get it, but that's funny. Yeah, bro, I'm definitely going to be drinking lots. So you guys will be seeing me. You won't be seeing my Fat Tuesdays Las Vegas cup anymore. You're only in Fat Tuesdays if you're watching. Sponsor me. I'm only going to be drinking life water and things like that. So yeah. What's your Rihanna comment? Let's see. Snyder said, Darius, bro, my wifey's Super Bowl performance was underwhelming and disappointing. Rihanna could have done so much better. I'll agree to that. Like everybody said, you know what, D-Stizzle? Sorry to cut my thought off, but D-Stizzle, I had a salad today, bro. For lunch, I had a salad today. For lunch tomorrow, I'm having a salad. That's all I've had today. That's not all I'm going to eat today, but it is all I've had today. I had a salad today, So, yeah, I'm trying. I'm giving it the old, you're not in your 20s anymore, try. So I'm giving it the try. But I'll agree with what Snyder said. I love Rihanna. I wish an album was in her stomach rather than a baby, but I joking. I love Rihanna. I think that she, we haven't heard anything from her since, what's the name of that album? It's Anti. Haven't heard anything from her since then. I would love to see, I would love to see a new album come from her. I thought she did good last night. I mean, she just, she sang her hits. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't what everybody, for me personally. I mean, if it was for you, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. It just wasn't over the top for me. It wasn't like, damn, Riri did her thing. Like, yeah, she did good. I mean, she performed at the Super Bowl. She did fine. It was a little underwhelming. It wasn't what I was expecting. But I will say, Chris Stapleton's fucking national anthem. Why is no one talking about that? Why is no one talking about Chris Stapleton's national anthem? That, Chris Stapleton, regardless if you listen to Tennessee Whiskey or whatever it is, that brother can sing. Can sang. S-A-N-G. Different. Can sang. I thought he did a great job with his national anthem performance. But I agree, Snyder, it was okay. It was okay. And one thing that I saw on Twitter, I saw on Facebook today, everybody was saying, somebody said on Facebook, they were like, Rihanna don't give a damn about y'all not liking her performance. She's worth however much money she's worth, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, we all had to get up to go to work this morning. Like, So I thought that was so funny. I was like, that's damn true. It's the same way people were upset about J-Lo's performance. J-Lo didn't give a shit about that. J-Lo collected her bag, got on her private jet, and went the fuck home. Like, it is what it is, bro. So, yeah, no. It was okay, though. It was all right. J2 Savvy said Riri didn't do an actual performance. That felt to me like a comeback performance, not a super performance. Yeah, that's why I said it was just like, I agree with you there. It was okay. Like, it was all right, bro. It was all right. I'm ready for an album, but it was all right. But let's get into the stuff we've got to talk about for sure. The first thing we're going to jump into is going to be Daredevil. And Daredevil Born Again is something we've talked about, obviously, over here. We know that Daredevil Born Again is going to be 18 episodes. We know that Charlie Cox has come out and said it's going to be not like the Netflix series. I forgot the exact wording he used, but it's not going to be like the Netflix series. He also, this is echoing, Vincent D'Onofrio is echoing what Charlie Cox had to say a couple months ago about the series. But we know that Charlie Cox was also doing MMA training for the series and in preparation to come back as Matt Murdock, things like that. Something else we know about this film, we do know that rumored grain of salt rumor, massive grain of salt rumor, that Spider-Man, and I don't think that this is happening anymore, but Spider-Man was supposed to be showing up in this series, and the events of this series were supposed to bleed into Spider-Man 4. I believe that still may be happening. I just don't know if Spider-Man is going to be in the series himself. We know that Echo is supposed to be in the series as well. We do know that Spider-Man 4, along with this series, may be adapting elements of Devil's Reign, the comic Daredevil comic there. So we may be even seeing some things like that going on with this series. But one thing that has been on everyone's mind is it going to be in the vein of the Netflix series? And Charlie Cox answered that a few months ago. Well, Vincent D'Onofrio has done an interview since and kind of giving a little bit more on how it's not really going to be like the Netflix series, but it's still going to be a great series is what he's saying. Obviously, he has to say that, but this is what Vincent D'Onofrio is saying. Kingpin actor Vincent D'Onofrio has commented on the differences between the MCU's Daredevil Born Again and Netflix series. The topic itself is a heated one. Not only has Marvel Studios been vague on Born Again's ties to the original series, but fans are concerned that the show's level of violence and intensity will be watered down for Disney. Now that shooting is about to get underway, Daredevil's Vincent D'Onofrio has confirmed that certain differences exist while also communicating his confidence in the change. When a fan expressed both his hopes and his doubts about Daredevil Born Again for Disney Plus, Kingpin actor Vincent D'Onofrio responded, this is on Twitter, this is not an interview, responded on Twitter, admitting the MCU series will be very different than the Netflix show, but still really cool. It's going to be very, very cool, very different than the Netflix show, which was, as we know, amazing. Yet this is brand new and really smart. We are going to surprise everyone with it, and yes, it's going to be really cool. Daredevil's own Charlie Cox has also commented on certain differences between the two shows. I want to say this was a couple of months ago when he said this. In talking with NME, Cox claims he believes the Disney Plus show will be dark, that's what he said, but won't be as gory. Yes, that's what he said. He said, in my opinion, this character works best when he's geared towards a slightly more mature audience. My instinct is that on Disney Plus it will be dark, but probably won't be as gory. As to fans' concerns and complaints about this change, the actor asked those same individuals why Born Again can't appeal to slightly younger audiences, yet not lose what we've learned about what works. I would say to those people, we've done that. Let's take the things that really worked, but can we broaden them? Can we appeal to slightly younger audiences without losing what we've learned about what works? Charlie Cox has also noted that certain changes could be an improvement, such as the potential for a heavy influence of courtroom stuff. And we do know that Daredevil Born Again has hired actual lawyers and actual people within law to come in the writer's room and help them with some of these courtroom scenes and things like that. Unlike She-Hulk attorney at fucking law, they are actually going to dive deep into his Matt Murdock being a lawyer, diving deep into the side of the courtroom that is that is also Matt Murdock. He's also Daredevil, but he is also a badass lawyer. So they are going to be diving deep into that as well. This is what Charlie Cox had to say about that. He said, I think because of the number of episodes they've committed to, there will be a heavy influence on courtroom stuff. Matt Murdock, the lawyer, is in the new show, so I'm heavily focused on researching that area of his character in his life. It was one of the areas we didn't do a huge amount of exploration around before. Even my accent is probably really rusty. A Daredevil star without fear, D'Onofrio has been singing the praises of Daredevil Born Again for some time. In addition, assuring fans that the MCU series is really smart and one that will surprise everyone in the past. He's also told audiences that they have no idea what's in store, while other comments from Marvel Studios talent and creatives have alluded to a lighter tone for Born Again. A lack of violence doesn't mean a lack of impact or absence of stakes, nor does gore equate to a better show or a higher level of storytelling. In fact, what audiences don't see is typically more powerful and meaningful than what they do. Regardless of how fans will receive this confirmation from Vincent D'Onofrio, it is in fact a confirmation that Netflix's Daredevil is different than the MCU's, and that means a blank slate in terms of storytelling. Since cameras are expected to roll at any time, the Daredevil faithful will hopefully learn more about what Marvel Studios has planned for Kingpin and Matt Murdock and how the two shows differ. Daredevil Born Again is set to debut spring 2024 on Disney+. So again, these are kind of things that we do know about Daredevil Born Again already. That is what I couldn't remember exactly what Charlie Cox said, but that's what it was. That it's going to be dark, but it won't have as much gore. So it's still going to be dark. It's not going to have as much gore. Again, if we can get the Daredevil that we got in She-Hulk Attorney at Law, the best episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law involving Daredevil, I liked how they had... Thank you for that. B. Smith. Thank you. Thank you for that. He said, this is a welcome change. Matt must show his skill. Yeah, and like I said, if it is the same way that they did Matt Murdock and She-Hulk Attorney at Law, I'm all for it. I thought that one, that was the best episode that they did, in my opinion. Two, I thought Matt Murdock was great in it. I thought Charlie Cox did a very good job in that episode. I liked the fact that they showed, we got to see him flipping and things like that, doing the shit with the baton, swinging through the garage, the parking garage, and things like that. Listening to the thug's heartbeats, the not so good as the Netflix hallway scene that we got, but still a good hallway scene with him. I thought that the things that we got with Matt Murdock in She-Hulk was great, and if they can keep that up, for me personally, I don't have to have it be as gory for it to still be good for me. I know there are a lot of people that still are wanting the blood and gore and things that we got in the amazing Netflix series, like we got with The Punisher, again, like we got with Daredevil, and things like that. But for me personally, again, your mileage may vary, but what we saw in She-Hulk, if we can just translate that and keep it, and keep it in tone with what Charlie Cox said about it being darker with less gore, I think it works. I think that I think it will work. I don't think that it has to have all the gore. I'm not saying, that's not me saying I don't want to see things like that. That's just me saying, that's fine. If it doesn't have the gore, it doesn't have the gore. As long as it's a good story that's being told, we all love Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. As long as he's coming back, which we know he is, as long as we have a good story being told, as long as Daredevil is actually being Daredevil and it's not this Disney-fied, watered down version of the character, then I think it's going to be okay. However, if it is a Disney-fied version of the character and the show is watered down, now Charlie Cox saying what he's saying and Vincent D'Onofrio saying what they're saying, those are just two actors pinned to their project. Of course they're going to praise their project because they want people to come and watch it. They don't want people to, they're not going to shit on their project before it happens. So, of course, they're going to be singing praises of the show. However, it's going to be when we, as the audience, get to finally sit down and view it for ourselves. Is it going to be what we want it to be? Is it going to be in the vein of, that dark tone Daredevil that we're wanting to see? How is this show going to be, and things like that? So I think we have to wait to see what it's going to be. But for me, I don't mind the gore as long as the story is good, the characters are on point. the tone, the darkness that whatever darkness you're bringing, I'm hoping that it is Daredevil. I'm hoping that it is as dark as Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are saying that it is, because this still is Daredevil. So, and I've seen people saying, oh, you don't have to have the gore because Daredevil's not gory in the comics. I'm not sure what comics you've read. But the Daredevil comics I've read, he is dark. It is gory. It is. I mean, what is it? What's the comic? Which comic is it on the front of the comic? The cover art where it's Bullseye and like Daredevil, like something. Isn't it like fuck? What is that? You guys know which one I'm talking about. It's where like Bullseye's like. What's the chat saying? I think it's the one where his like head's getting blown up or something like that. Something like that. They're dark, bro. Like I'm not sure what Daredevil comics you've read, but it's pretty dark. So I'm excited to see it. I'm interested. Well, maybe excited's the wrong word. I am interested to see what they're doing with this. I'm excited that Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio are reprising their roles, but I'm still interested to see what they're doing. What they're doing with this series. So, as always, questions for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of the most recent comments that are literally kind of just echoing Matt Murdock's comments from a couple months ago, that the show is not going to be gory, but it's going to be more of a darker tone. And what are you guys thinking? Are you wanting it to be more like the Daredevil we got in She-Hulk? Are you hoping that that's the Daredevil that they continue to show? Or are you still one of the ones that's wanting that more gory tone, that's wanting that more Netflix side of Daredevil to show up on Disney+? Whatever your thoughts may be, let me know them all down below in the comments. Let's see what you guys is saying. Let's see. Snyder said... Justin actually said... I'm sorry. So let's start with Zangbeto. Zangbeto said, I have no faith in the MCU's Disney Plus shows. Justin said, can we just accept the fact that not all comics and not all characters are for kids, even in Marvel? Yep, I agree. I'll agree. I was wondering what you guys were going to think about him saying that about the kids thing. Snyder Steppenwolf said, and hire comic book writers just like how Netflix did. Yeah. J-Rob said, this is going to be a disaster. They hired lawyers, but they won't. That's true, but they won't hire comic book writers. They want comic book writers to stay away. That's very true. That's very true, J-Rob. That is very fucking true. CGZ said, the hardest part of Netflix series for me was how Ben Urich ended up. Let's see. Justin also said, like, for example, Wolverine, he's a guy with knives for hands who brutally kills people and is an alcoholic. That's not a character you market towards kids. Certain characters do, but not everyone, right? Let's see. Sir Yuri G said, that's totally fine because Totally Dark isn't Daredevil. Gray said, as long as the tone is close to the Netflix series, I'm good with it. D-Stizzle said, watch this show be just as off comic code as Moon Knight. That's a worry. That is a worry. Professor Film Fan said, I just hope that we get a good Daredevil show. And that is a hope. Xavier Phoenix said, I'm okay with the changes as long as it's close to what they did in She-Hulk. Yes. I agree. Same way. Sir Yuri G said, what we got from Daredevil and She-Hulk was perfect. Yep. Let's see. Monkey D. Luffy said, She-Hulk is garbage. She-Hulk is garbage. You are absolutely correct about that. She-Hulk is absolute, utter trash. It was a waste of my fucking 9 weeks. It is something I will never go back and revisit. Justin said, Daredevil can have both light and dark tones. It doesn't need to be hard R violence, right? Just for it to be good, in my opinion. I agree with you. D. Sizzle said, I don't need a ton of gore, just grit. And I'll agree to that too. J-Rob said She-Hulk had Daredevil doing the walk of shame. Come on, y'all. It did have him doing the walk of shame. But again, I don't think that's the She-Hulk. That's Jessica Gal. We have to remember what She-Hulk was. We have to remember who was behind She-Hulk. Jessica Gal was behind She-Hulk. The off the wall shit she said after the show, after the series, aired and everything, after the, as they all do, when they do interviews after their movies or shows air, they always come in and say some things. And Jessica Gal, the things that she had to say, I wonder if the MCU regrets. I wonder if Kevin Feige and company regret hiring Gal. you know, Gal came over with the Rick and Morty writers, like Loveness and Waldron and things like that. She came over with those writers. And I wonder if after She-Hulk and after the things that she has said since She-Hulk, I wonder if they regret even having Gal as a writer. Because, again, Daredevil, The Walk of Shame, I have no doubt that was something that Gal and her writing team thought was absolutely hilarious. The same way that they thought that them being as meta as they tried to be, you know, She-Hulk busing onto the Marvel Studios campus and busing into the writers' room, and those were the writers that we saw in that episode. Those were the writers. Jessica Gal was even in that episode. She was sitting there. Those were the writers and Jessica Gal that have been on this, you know, on this show and things like that. So I'm sure they thought that it was great. Now let's shift it over to Born Again, where we've got completely different writers, completely different, you know, different mindsets that aren't Jessica Gal and trying to push whatever she was trying to do. It could be different. It could be different. So I remain hopeful. I do remain hopeful. D Sizzle said Daredevil's acrobats in She-Hulky was the only good thing in my opinion. I liked his acrobats for sure. Raymond, in typical fashion, said Daredevil is gonna suck. Let's see. We're going to skip down a little bit here. Because as I've told you guys, I'm not going to be able to read everybody's there. Jeezy said, and appreciate you being here, Tim. He said, on your left. Appreciate it, Tim. Jeezy said, Daredevil is a gritty character. Gory makes me think of horror. Yeah. Sir Yuri G said, this might be me as a biased fan, but if the show can be perfect mix of the Mark Waid run and the current Chip Zdarsky run, the show will be a chef's kiss. I know Mark Waid. I'm not sure on the other. Let's see. Dougie Fresh said, I mean, there's ways to get around things. Wolverine is in multiple cartoons. You can keep these characters accurate with creativity. That's very true. That's something I believe we talked about last week. I don't remember what it was we were talking about, but one of my questions was, where's the creativity from Marvel? Like, or not just from Marvel, from Disney. That's what it was. The creativity I don't remember what we were talking about, but it just seems like the creativity, Toy Story 5, the reboot. It seems like the creativity has staggered over at the Mouse. Seems like some of the things, like we don't have creative minds in there to push forward new ideas. It just, so I agree, Dougie. Let's see. Snyder said She-Hulk show ruined the Wrecking Crew. Yep, which we barely saw. Abomination, Titania, yes. Intelligentsia, Jennifer Walters' origin, and ruined Scar. I bet his mother ain't. I can't pronounce her name. Saira Oldstrong. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? We don't know shit about it. Do I care? I don't even know if I care. And not about the origins. I don't know if I care about Scar and the Hulk. I don't care about Scar and the Hulk in the MCU because the MCU is not giving me a reason to care about Scar and the Hulk. I mean, as long as Hulk is handing out tacos and a flannel, I don't care. And yeah, I just don't. I don't care. Cleve17 said, I just hope we get a great story. Right. Chills said, what did JG say about She-Hulk? JG. Jessica Gal? Oh. She didn't say anything negative, obviously, about her show. She just, some of the things she came out and said about Kevin Feige when she wanted Kevin Feige to actually show up in She-Hulk. She was kind of talking about their discourse or disagreement that they had on him showing up because he didn't want to show up. He didn't even want the AI thing in there. Not only did he not want the AI thing in there, he didn't want the AI having his hat on. He thought that, he was like, no, I don't want to do this. There was the whole back and forth of characters that she wanted to put in, but they wouldn't let her put in. She had a couple of different things to say about it. Let's see. Raymond said, we're getting the Walk of Shame Daredevil from She-Hulk. Just watch. Reese said, when is T'Challa video coming out? That video will be, I don't have a date. A date I do not have. I just know it will be this month, but it will be toward the end of the month. It might even be the last day of this month. But it is coming. It is coming. Sir Yuri G said, I like how Gunn has some comic writers helping with projects on the DC on the DCU, but the MCU doesn't want to. That's really weird to me. Well, Gunn, you know what Gunn said last week. He said the MCU has things figured out, but they don't have it all figured out. Whereas he feels as if they have it a little bit figured out more on the DC side than they do on the MCU side. And we'll have to wait to see how that turns out. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah. So we'll move on here to the next topic. The next topic we're going to move here is going to be Avengers 5, which is Kang Dynasty. And this is kind of going to be a quick one here. What are some of the things we do know about Kang Dynasty? We've talked a bit about actors that could return in the multiversal saga, and Robert Downey Jr. obviously is one of them. There's the rumor that Robert Downey Jr. Is supposed to be one of the main characters alongside Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in Kang Dynasty, and the newest rumor is that he's even going to be a villain in Kang Dynasty. The newest rumor is that he is from and Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, I apologize, is that he is the Iron Man from 838 that is looking to seek revenge on the Avengers due to Wanda's actions to his Illuminati friends and things like that. I don't know if that rumor is true. Again, take it with a massive grain of salt. It is coming from the Marvel Studios subreddit, where we do a lot of our leak reading over here. We do know also that Robert Downey Jr. has expressed that he misses being in the trenches with Kevin Feige. He wants to be back in the trenches. He misses that time, his time in the MCU and things like that. But he has also stated that in order for him to come back as RDJ, this is something he told Joe Rogan, in order for him to come back as RDJ, it has to be right. It has to make sense. And I think, I've said this many times, I think you're smoking dick if you believe that RDJ is not coming back for Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars. I don't know about Kang Dynasty. I would say Kang Dynasty, but for sure Secret Wars. Not just him, but many other actors that have portrayed roles within the MCU and with outside the MCU. We do know that Secret Wars has to be a monster. It's going to be a giant. And one of the most recent rumors about Secret Wars is that we've heard that it's going to be a 2-part film instead of the 1-part. You guys know that have been here, especially for those of you that watched D23 live with me when Secret Wars was announced. My biggest question was, how the fuck is it one film? I hope that Kang Dynasty is not the first part and Secret Wars the film is the second part. I don't see how that works. I feel like you have to do Secret Wars in a 2-part film. There's no other way that you can tell Secret Wars, in my opinion. Now, if the MCU can cram all the events of Secret Wars into a 3-hour film, well, okay, we'll have to see what that looks like. But I've never was one that thought that it was going to be one film. I always thought it was going to be 2. I always thought it had to be 2. But, again, now that we know that he's coming back, or potentially coming back, these are things that a lot of people have been talking about in way of Robert Downey Jr. rumors and him coming back. But this is what Jonathan Majors has had to say, because Jonathan Majors wants him to come back. Jonathan Majors, wants to star opposite of RDJ and wants to share the screen with him to see what would be the differences between, what would be the differences between Iron Man and Kang, and how do they fare. He wants to see how their acting styles fare with each other, and he's a big fan of RDJ. But this is what he had to say. This is coming from the direct. It says, as the MCU fandom prepares for the two mega event movies, the Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, many are wondering whether one of these 2 movies could bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I believe, again, they both are. Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 are set to not only bring the current members of the Earth's mightiest heroes together, but also potentially include legacy heroes from the past 3 decades that originated both out and in the MCU. And while this will make for unquestionably the biggest team-up movie in comic book movie history, original MCU actors like Robert Downey Jr. have been high on fans' wish lists for potential comebacks in the next few years. At the moment, Jonathan Majors is the only actor confirmed for both Avengers 5 and 6, and the MCU newcomer has already shared that his role as Kang the Conqueror is something of a dream role for him, as he explores the villain and his countless variants. It goes, speaking with Lifehacker, Avengers Kang Dynasty star Jonathan Majors expressed his hope to see Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU as Iron Man in the next Avengers sequel. Kang's involvement opens up a world of possibilities, particularly as the MCU begins to dabble in the multiverse and variants. When asked if there was anyone that you're looking forward to working with or hope that Kang gets to play off of in Avengers 5, Majors looked to the most well-known OG Avenger. Majors explained that he's a huge fan of of the Iron Man star as an actor, remembering what Downey did for the superhero movie culture. This is like a Robert Downey Jr. day. He just keeps popping in. He just keeps popping in my head. Like, I know he's an OG. I mean, he's one of the originals. I'm just a huge fan of him as an actor. I think what he did with Iron Man was such a gift to the culture at large. Majors imagined the two characters matching up with one another on multiple levels, calling Downey's portrayal of Iron Man so fascinating as he sees the energy that the actor brought to the Avengers team. I would love to be across from him on screen to see how our philosophies, acting wise and character wise, just personally match up. You know, I find him to be such a fascinating artist, which is why Iron Man is so fascinating. His portrayal of Iron Man is so fascinating, and he represents a very clear worldview and energy of the Avengers, and I think Kang represents a different era. He already has ideas about what an interaction between Kang and Tony Stark would entail, particularly when looking at their conflicting ideologies. It'd be really interesting to see those two kinds of characters come together to have a bit of a conversation. He also noted how privileged he is to have such a great deal of responsibility that comes with playing Kang, which allows him to achieve incredible amounts of growth as an actor. Admitting that he can barely think about Avengers 5 with how excited he is for the upcoming appearance in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, he loves the potential that he has to expand on the mythology of Kang moving forward. I mean, I'm a fascinating player. Kang is a very privileged place to be, with a great deal of responsibility, and because of that, I have the opportunity to really stretch and grow my artistry selfishly and contribute that to give that to the audience and the rest of my teammates. So Kang Dynasty, I can't even think about it because I'm so excited about Quantumania, but Kang Dynasty feels to me that it has the potential to grow the mythology of Kang, to grow the curiosity of Kang that much more, which is extremely exciting. Will Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU? The MCU has found a way over the past few years to move past Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, with the actor's last appearance having come in 2019's Avengers Endgame. It's become one of the bigger deaths that have actually carried through in all of Phase 4, even with a number of references to the original Avengers, although it's no surprise that Jonathan Majors wants Downey back for another round. Many fans have already theorized that one of the next two Avengers movies will bring Downey back into the fray, allowing Kang to interact with at least a variant of the hero that kickstarted the MCU's entire journey. These would likely be the best choices in which to use Downey in order to keep his death in Endgame impactful. And considering how many other variants Marvel is already looking at for Avengers 6, Downey should at least be in the conversation for an appearance. And again, I believe, if you believe he is not, you are smoking dick. I honestly believe that Robert Downey Jr. has already been in talks with Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios and Company. Secret Wars is something that I believe has been on the drawing board since day damn one. Kevin Feige has known where they wanted to go. Obviously, the Infinity Saga was one thing, but I feel like his end games, no pun intended, I feel like his end games, he knows where he wants to go with at the end of each, saga or whatever it is. And so I truly personally believe that Secret Wars has been on the table, and I do believe that he has been in contact with Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, stars outside of the MCU that have played Marvel characters and before the MCU was established. I believe he's been in contact with them. I believe that they will all be back for Secret Wars. In order for Secret Wars to give that punch that we all know it has to give, those are things that have to happen. Robert Downey Jr. has to be back. Chris Evans has to be back. Some of these, like Wesley Snipes' Blade, I would love to see it. Has to be back. Ben Affleck's Daredevil, I would love to see it. Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, I would love to see it. The OG Fantastic Four, I would love to see it. We do know that the Fox X-Men are supposed to be getting their introduction into all of this. Again, I would love to see it. I do believe that they're all going to be back. I don't think that this is something that they're just spitting fire at. I believe they're all going to be back. And again, we know that how can I say it? I would say this. Majors bringing this up, I don't believe is just him, bringing it up just to bring it up. I believe he even himself has been in rooms where the conversations of RDJ have taken place. I believe he's been in rooms where conversations for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars have already taken place, at least an outline of what that will look like, an outline of who could possibly be returning, and etc., etc. So we know that RDJ is coming back. It's just going to be once we get closer to the film, which is still years away. We still don't get to see this film until I believe 2027. That's my opinion on it. I think that film is going to get pushed back. If it doesn't get pushed back, okay, maybe not. But I think that they might do the part 1, maybe 2026, part 2, maybe 2027, or maybe they both get pushed back and part 1 comes 2027 and part 2 comes 2028, because you also remember the newest rumor also entails that a Battle World series of films are supposed to be taking place in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So maybe that could be one of the parts to Secret Wars, to where you still only have the one Secret Wars film. Not really sure how they're going to do it, but these are some of the rumors and things that we have at least heard. So I'm just interested to see how all of this is going to unfold. I'm interested to see what's going to be happening with Robert Downey Jr. I would love to see Iron Man fight Kang. I think that would be dope. I think the photoshopped image of Kang staring down Iron Man while Iron Man is staring down Kang, I think that picture's dope. Again, those are things that I would really like to see about it. But again, question is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about Jonathan Majors' recent comments here. And again, this is not really anything new. We all, I believe, over here kind of suspect and believe that RDJ will be back. It's just a matter of when that announcement will come, which again is still some time away. I also believe that RDJ, maybe some type of AI or something of him may be showing up in Armor Wars. I feel like that would just not so much for the fan service, but what that would do for the character of Rhodey, because this is Rhodey's film. This has to be something that elevates the character of Rhodey, which Don Cheadle has talked about wanting to do. So I think, him losing his best friend, him now being responsible for his best friend's tech and things like that, having an AI Iron Man Tony Stark show up, I think would be pretty cool. But again, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. All right, let's see what some of y'all are saying here. Ant-Man 991, appreciate you being here. Skillmonger, appreciate you being here as well. Let's see. Gray said, not talking to me. Oaktown A, appreciate you being here as well. Dougie Fresh said, actually, CGZ. Wow, let me start over. Mano215 said, wow, can we bring back Tony Stark but not T'Challa? Yeah, that's the thing. I still think, now don't get me wrong. Depending on who is doing Secret Wars and the mass amount of fans that do want T'Challa back, the hashtag is not silent. The hashtag is people are aware of the hashtag. Whether that be, people close to the hashtag like ourselves, or people, over at Marvel Studios themselves, the hashtag, it's known. If, depending on who's writing, we could see T'Challa. Now, you heard me say last week, I'm personally not checking for T'Challa to be dangled in my face just to be taken away at the end of a Secret Wars film, so that they can continue on to do whatever their plans are with T'Challa. That's not something I'm really looking for, but will I still love to see T'Challa? Of course I will. I just don't want him dangled in my face for 15-20 minutes and be taken away, because to Marvel, or to Kevin Feige and Marvel, Chadwick Boseman's rendition transcends any rendition of the character. So I don't know. I don't know. But yes, I share the emoji stare with you. CGZ said, have no problem if RDJ returns as long as the story is done right. Correct. Dougie Fresh said, Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars. This is a necessary 3-parter. Honestly, I said that too. Okay, so I said 3-parter. Like I've talked about it, not on the stream. I've never said 3-parter on the stream because I don't want people to be like 3-parter. But I have said that before in conversation. I've never said it here because I thought like 3-part. Is that too much? But I've said that too. Honestly, 3-parter. That is essential to deal with something so ambitious. How will it How will it all unfold, though? That's the question, bro. How will it all unfold? I'm curious to know how they're doing this. We even got the newest rumor that the Molecule Man is supposed to be in it. So it'll be interesting. It's supposed to show up in Fantastic Four, but also going to be, I think it was Fantastic Four. Don't quote me on that. It might not be Fantastic Four, but I think it was Fantastic Four. But what will it be? Will it be interesting? Snyder said, wanted to see T'Challa with the Gauntlet fighting Emperor God Doom. Yeah. Xavier said, Raptor Cloak said, let them bring back Tony Stark, and they'll have no excuse not to bring back our Wakanda King. That's true too. Xavier said, help us, RDJ, you're our only hope. Professor Film Fan said, I would love to see that as well. When they said the MCU is navigating through RDJ's absence, well, no the fuck they're not. No, they're not. No, they are not. Let's see. B. Smith said, I wonder if anyone else noticed the fact that Doctor Strange told Tony there are only one scenario where the Avengers defeated Thanos, but Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, he saw a second way. I actually saw someone talking about this. Who was talking about this? All the different possibilities and things that Strange saw. I don't remember who was talking about it, but yes, that is a fact and things that are going around right now. People are having that exact conversation about Strange's, what he saw and things like that, and what that can mean for the future, moving into King Dynasty and things. Gray said, if they don't bring T'Challa back, I'm out. Tony had a complete arc. T'Challa did not. Bringing back T'Challa is disrespectful and disgrace at this point. Or not bringing back T'Challa, sorry. Not bringing back T'Challa is disrespectful and a disgrace at this point. It is. It is indeed. Y'all know how I feel. If I'm not going crazy, y'all know how I feel. You know how I feel about T'Challa not being here. I will tell you this though. I'm not about to go into a huge spill on it because we have some other things we got to get to. I will say this. I find it funny that Wakanda Forever, and for any antis that may be watching, maybe you were one of the ones that told me, well, the film didn't release in China. That's why it didn't do good as its predecessor. Well, it released 6 days ago in China. It's been 6 days, I believe it's been out in China. And the film has accumulated $12 million, which brings the now world box office to $855 million. That's still not a bill. That's still not 1.3 billion. So again, I am going to sit on my high horse. I am going to sit on the I told you so's. Because this is something I've been saying, we've been saying, many of us in the recast crowd have been saying for a long, periodically time. Have y'all seen that video where the girl's waiting for the bus and she says, I've been waiting here a long, periodically time. I can say periodic. For a long time. We've been waiting for a long time. Or these are things we've been saying, rather, for a long time. I tried to tell all of you antis out there that I don't really care what mental gymnastics you're doing or how you try to subtract the 2 and carry the 3 or whatever it is you're trying to do. The film was never, it was never going to hit that Billy. And it was simply because of the absence of T'Challa. That's all it was. Had you put the franchise's main character back in his own fucking film, maybe you could have repeated the success of its predecessor. But because you decided to make a selfish, morbid decision, you're sitting at 855 million worldwide, even with it releasing in China. Remember, China was the thing that y'all kept saying it needed. Well, it got China, and it still is not moving. It's still not moving. It's not going to hit that Billy. It's not. It's not. From my understanding, people in China called the first film, and this is something, and this could be false. This could be false. I read this. It could be false. I don't know. I have no validity to it. But the people in China called the first film something that was really hard for them to watch because of all of the black faces on screen. I mean, and I believe that. Look at what they did to Finn in the Star Wars trailer. They took him as big as he was in the American poster, shrunk him down in the China poster. Look at what they did to Chadwick's face in the China poster. They covered it with the Black Panther mask. So, regardless of the mental gymnastics or the parkour shit that you were trying to do for this film, because you thought we were hating on the film. You thought that people were coming in from the recast side and just hated the film, and we wanted we were preying on the film's downfall, and because we were being disrespectful to. No, it was never any of that. We were coming in with facts, bro. We were coming in with facts before they were even facts on paper. We told you all, don't expect this film to hit a bill. And it wasn't because, it's the second film. It wasn't because of, of this or that. It was simply because of the absence of the franchise's main character. And numbers that I like to use is the domestic numbers. Everybody likes to talk about the worldwide numbers, the worldwide box office. And I understand the worldwide box office is the most important. I get it. But domestically, the film was still what? Quote me if I'm wrong. What, 300,000? How much was it? Was it 300 million? How much was it behind its predecessor domestically? Domestically, what BP1 did? BP2 didn't even hold a candle to it domestically. Why? Because here at home, domestically where we are, word of mouth got around. When people heard that Marvel refused to put T'Challa, the Black Panther, back in his franchise, people checked out. The only reason a lot of people went to see the film was out of pure curiosity, and they came out singing a different tone. Now, there are still some people that went in loving it and came out calling it beautiful. That's great for you. I'm glad you found the beauty in it. Okay? But that's fine. But people still weren't checking for it that way because the predecessor, because it didn't do what its predecessor, it was never going to do what its predecessor was going to do. It never was going to do that. T'Challa was not in the film. We haven't had a recast topic in a while outside of, I think, wherever we talked about a few days ago. But it's rare and in between, because a lot of the things that they're sharing on the direct, or a lot of things that they're sharing in way of interviews that have come out, have just simply been why they're still advertising Wakanda Forever. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. I've never seen Marvel advertise a movie as hard as they are advertising Wakanda Forever. And Quantumania is in 3 fucking days. And they still have not... the emphasis put on Wakanda Forever has not been put on Quantum... Now, again, maybe you're viewing something different. Maybe you might think different. And that's fine. We have two different brains. I say this all the time. This is no conversion therapy. I don't give a flying fuck if you like the movie or you don't like the movie. I don't give a flying fuck if you agree with me or you disagree with me. You have a right to your opinion just as well as I have a right to mine. And for me, it just was never going to do that. But people were tagging me in things was it last week or the week before, where it was Disney had shared ING and the Direct and Variety and a couple other trades were sharing that it's the most watched movie on Disney Plus. Well, we all know why that is, because a lot of people skipped seeing the funeral in person, or paying for the funeral, to where they said, I'll just wait for it to jump on Disney Plus, then I'll stream the morbid funeral. Because I've seen a lot of people that did not go see it in theaters, that had waited to see it on Disney Plus, and the reaction speaks like it's a $155 million film. Again, some people might be sitting out there saying, because I've even gotten this comment, 800, I said 155 million, I'm sorry, $855 million. That's what it's sounding like to me. But I even had people telling me $855 million is bad? That's now bad? Yeah, it is. It's a flop in my opinion. Now, again, your mileage may vary, and quite frankly, I don't give a fuck of what verbiage you want to use for the film. That's the tone I'm using, and I'm calling it a flop. It flopped. F-L-O-P-P, or it flopped. It flopped. The film did not do good. It flopped. And again, you can say, on one hand, what you want to say, but facts, on this hand, don't lie. Not only that, numbers don't lie. I've been saying that. Numbers don't lie. This is such a huge deviation, but anytime T'Challa gets brought up, I do have things to say. I share with you guys and wanting to see T'Challa. I share with you guys and hearing RDJ can come back, but T'Challa, I share all of those feelings. However, as I've said many times, Marvel has not given me any indication that they give a fuck. Marvel has not given me any indication that T'Challa will be back. Marvel has not given me any indication that I should give a fuck about the future of the Black Panther franchise, because they refuse to recast the franchise's main character. And as I've said many times, I had to see Wakanda Forever so I could see it for myself. But after seeing it for myself, I had a fucking epiphany. I will no longer be feeding my black dollar into the Black Panther franchise within the MCU. And that's a whole nother topic, the black dollar. I talk about that in the Wakanda video, or the Black Panther video that I have coming out this month. I talk about that. I talk about the powerful, mighty black dollar that was absent from Wakanda Forever. Oh shit, that might have just pissed a lot of people off. Oh, there were plenty of black people that saw it. Okay, I see that what I just said went over your head. So with that said, I've said what I had to say about it. We'll move on. We'll move on to the next topic, because I see I might be losing some people. Some shit might be going over some people's heads on what I'm saying. Again, check back at the end of this month. If you're new, check back at the end of this month if you're curious as to what I mean by the mighty black dollar being absent from Wakanda Forever. So, we'll move on. I'm not going to read the comments there from everything that had to deal with RDJ here, because I'm sorry, I took the reading time of comments to have a little mini rant, and I'm actually proud of myself, because I didn't. Maybe because I'm tired, but I didn't yell. I stayed calm. With it. I said what I had to say. I got the point across. And I think my calmness is coming from the fact that it's justified. We have been right. I already knew we were right. Not that I needed any, needed justification from anyone, or I didn't need to be justified from anyone or anything. But the facts are there. And maybe that's why I'm so calm, because I can come in and say, I told you so. I told you so. You were wrong, and we were right. We've been right. We've been the ones sitting on the side of but T'Challa, while you guys have been sitting on the side of but his legacy. But Chadwick's, that's disrespectful. But the child, but Suri, but you're misogynistic, but this, but that, but you were wrong. And we were all right. So the film did release in China. So you guys let me know. What do you guys think? It released in China. Where's that $1 billion? Where's the 1.3 million that you assured me? Some of y'all assured me. You told me, cussed me out up and down, telling me that if it does release in China, it will surpass the first one. I'm looking for it, and I just don't see it. So maybe we're viewing two different things, but I don't see it surpassing the first one. And we all know why. So we'll move here to the next topic. The next topic that we're going to move on here to is going to be we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about all the Super Bowl stuff. Let's talk about the Super Bowl stuff from last night. The Super Bowl stuff from last night, and the stuff that, the kind of disappointing. I'll be honest with you. I was expecting a few different things from the Super Bowl last night, but we didn't get some of the things that, like the Little Mermaid trailer. I wanted to see the Little Mermaid trailer because I'm curious to see what that shit looks like. I want to see more than just the spot that they gave us. What was that, months ago? So I was expecting that. That didn't come. I thought the Rise of the Beast trailer was going to be more than just a TV spot. I'm okay with what we got, though. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay with what we got. What other trailers did I really... I mean, the Guardians trailer, we'll get to it. We're going to get to all the trailers. But let's start here. No one, Asherah. No one pissed me off. No one tried to piss me off. No one pissed in my Cheerios today. And my cereal's great. I'm fine over here. I'm fine. No one pissed me off. It was just a comment that was made about Black Panther. I don't remember what it was. Something. I think it was people just saying we can get RDJ, but we can't get T'Challa. And I just agree. I agree. I wasn't gonna go in on it. I wasn't. But y'all know how hard it is for me not to say shit. It's hard. It's hard for me not to say shit, especially when it's validated. So let's talk about the Transformers trailer first. So Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Last night, one of the films that got a highlighted TV spot was Rise of the Beast. They didn't show a full trailer, just a Super Bowl spot, and honestly, I liked it because the focus was on Mirage. The focus of that whole TV spot was on Mirage. And I know a lot of people were trying to tell me when the original trailer were trying to tell me, that's not Mirage, that's Jazz. No. It was never Jazz. It was always Mirage because this is as I told you guys when we first talked about Rise of the Beast, it's a prequel, sequel, reboot. So this film is taking place before Michael Bay's films, but it is still a sequel to Bumblebee, I believe. It's a sequel to Bumblebee, but it's a reboot to the franchise. So the whole thing, it was always Mirage. It was always going to be a sequel, prequel, reboot. Say that 3 times fast. And there were a few new shots, but overall, like I said, the focus was on Mirage. And before the trailer dropped, the original trailer, I remember the news had come out that Pete Davidson was going to be voicing Mirage. And honestly, after I heard his voice with the effects and things that were on it, I liked it. I liked that I liked what I heard. You know, people were very curious of how his voice would translate as an Autobot, but I thought that Pete Davidson, being Pete Davidson, I thought that it was great. I thought he sounded fine as Mirage, honestly. And I personally love all of the for me personally, I don't know if everybody loves the Transformers films like that, but for me it's the Shia's films. The first 3 Shia films, I think he only has 3. The first 3 Shia films I really enjoy. I thought that those 3 were great. Now Mark Wahlberg's films, I don't revisit them. Especially when they started making their own Transformers. I hated that film. But I really loved Shia's films. And I really, really thought Bumblebee was really a great movie. I love the depth that they gave to Bumblebee as a character, the things that we saw, things like that. Haley Steinfeld was great in the film. We've even heard, well, it's not a rumor. This is a theory. People want Haley Steinfeld, her character, to show up in this so that the connections can be even stronger to Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast and things like that. But I've not heard that she shows up in this. People are kind of wanting her to cameo. I've not heard anything about that at all. It's kind of just a fan wish right now. But she could. It's possible because this does tie into that Bumblebee film as well. And I'm hopeful that they will adapt some of the Rise of the Beast, some of that into Rise of the Beast as far as like humanizing, well, not humanizing, but the depth of the characters. Because honestly, the one thing that in Michael Bay's films, I love his films. I think they're great, but there's no depth to the characters. You know, it's a bunch of action. You know, we jump right into the story and there it is. But with Bumblebee, with Haley Steinfeld, we did get depth into Bumblebee, into the character, and it seems like we may even be getting depth into these characters in Rise of the Beast. Just seeing how they did Mirage and things like that, hearing him talk. With Pete Davidson's voice and things, I thought it was good. I liked the TV spot. I mean, they already had my money, honestly. They had my money with the first trailer, so it wasn't like I was like, oh, that's not a trailer, but cool new stuff. But at the end of the day, they've already got my money, so I'm cool on it. Overall, the TV spot was good, so I mean, I'll show it here. I'll show that TV spot here so everybody can see. I'm sure everybody has already seen it, but let's go ahead and just kind of, play this as well. Okay, hold on. I apologize. Let's start that over. I have it not on my headset. Alright, here we go. Let's play these.
It was all a dream. Woo! The name's Mirage.
I like it.
I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the trip, same number, same hood. It's all good. Pull over! I'm not driving! Yeah. Nah. Relax. I'm Mirage, remember? And if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the voice, bro. Pete Davidson's voice. I think it translates good, and I like what's guy's name? It's Ramos, right? And that he's playing the Hood and Ironheart. I think his last name is Ramos. I think he's gonna be a great new addition to all of this. He's basically taking on that Mark Wahlberg Shia role as the main character. I think that, you know, I like that part where they tell him to pull. He's like, I'm not driving. I adore Transformers. I grew up on Transformers. The cartoons, the Rise of the Beast film, animated film. I love Transformers. Anthony Ramos, thank you, Gray. Gray always corrects me with names. Thank you, Gray. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it when the original trailer dropped. They had my money then, and, you know, hell, keep taking it. So I'm here for it. I think that Rise of the Beast is going to be great. But we'll move on to the next one. The next one that we'll talk about here, well, I'm sorry. But as always, question is for you. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What are you guys thinking of the Rise of the Beast TV spot? Are you like me where they already had your money and it's just like, damn, I just can't wait for this film to drop. I can't wait to see another trailer. Or are you one of the ones that's like you're still kind of trying to get over Michael Bay's films or just the Transformer, that whole saga of films that they showed? What are your thoughts on Transformers in general? Did you grow up on Transformers? What are you thinking of the Rise of the Beast that they're adapting and things like that? Again, that was one of my all-time favorite animated Transformer films. I thought it was great. But you guys, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Let's see here. We'll move on to the next one. And the next one that we'll move on to is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, a full trailer did come out for this one. We did get a full trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this trailer was good. I'm still looking forward to seeing this film. It's still on my, you know, at one point it was on my most anticipated. I'm anticipating it, but it's not on my most anticipated list any longer. And the reason that it's not on my most anticipated list any longer is because, you know, the trailer definitely captures, just like the other trailer, captures the spirit and the tone of the previous Guardian films. It definitely does. It's James Gunn, the same guys, everybody's coming back, so of course it does. It captures all that again. And again, I want to see this, but I'm so much more interested in the multiversal stuff that's going on in the MCU right now, because that's the bigger picture. That's where we're going to. It connects to everything. And as I've mentioned before, I don't believe that the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will have any connections to the wider picture going on in the MCU, to the multiversal saga. It's not going to have any consequence to anything like that. Now, could there be a post-credit scene or something like that that might tie into the multiversal saga? Yes, but will the film itself? No. The film itself is not going to tie into the multiversal saga. It is a farewell film. It is a goodbye. Feige has called this film a James Gunn film. The posters themselves have even, on one of the posters, has said that it's a James Gunn film. A movie by James Gunn, or whatever it said on there. And we also know that this is the team's farewell to the MCU. You know, we know that Gunn has also said some members or multiple members may not make it out. We know that the actress that plays Mantis, the actress that plays Nebula, they both read the script and said that they were weeping after it and everything like that. Yeah, you know, so it's just not going to be a multiversal film that connects to the bigger picture. This is a farewell film. And I'm still, again, looking forward to seeing what they do with this film. I'm looking forward to seeing Adam Warlock, obviously. I'm wanting to see what Will Poulter does with Adam Warlock. I'll tell you one thing, though. And I'm going to show the trailer, but I'll tell you one thing. what they have failed to do with this film is get me excited for the antagonist, which is the High Evolutionary. I'm not excited for the High Evolutionary in this. Like, they've not given me anything that shows me, like, this is a villain that is going to be the villain of all Guardians villains. Like, out of all the Guardians villains we've seen in the first one, we saw Ronan, and the second one we saw Ego. But this, the High Evolutionary, you should be ready for. This is going to knock y'all's fucking socks off with how good he is as a villain. I've not felt that. I've not felt it. I'm not really excited. You know, honestly, be honest, until they show him in the trailers, I forget he's even a factor in the film. You know, I understand, and I saw everything that they did at D23 where they had him come out in some of his costume and things like that, and had him, you know, doing what he was doing. But it still wasn't the same, because go look at when Jonathan Majors came out as Kang, and he was on the stage doing some of the same things. He was on the stage like pumping up the crowd, put his hand to his ear, like, you know, Kang. That wasn't there for the High Evolutionary. And yes, you could say, well, Darius, are you comparing the High Evolutionary to Kang the Conqueror? No. But what I'm saying is, this is still a villain in a major film, in a major Marvel film, in the last movie of the Guardians trilogy. I feel like this villain should fucking stake his claim and let us know why he should not be trifled with. But unfortunately, we're not, you know, again, maybe you still are. For me personally, I've not been excited for him at all, because they've not given me a reason to be excited for him. But the dialogue also, well, actually, before I jump into the dialogue, I'll go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and watch this trailer. Now, will we get a copyright strike for this? I don't fucking know. We shouldn't, though. We shouldn't. Only thing that scares me is the 80s music, but we'll see.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
Oh, there it is.
My sacred mission
is to create the perfect society.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Incinerate them.
We were always searching for a family until we found each other.
Are you ready for one last ride?
We'll all fly away together.
Into the forever and beautiful sky.
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Her? That's ridiculous.
Do not bring me into this.
Knock it off!
What?
Just never noticed how black your eyes were.
They were replaced by my father as a method of torture.
He picked a pretty set.
Okay, now, in typical Guardians fashion, the shit is funny, bro. In typical Guardians fashion, the shit is funny. It's great. I love the Guardians. I love Guardians 1, and I love Guardians 2. Guardians 2 is one of my favorites, honestly. I think that the film is great. So it looks like it's going to be a good film. Again, it's just not going to have a connection to the wider MCU like that. Well, the bigger picture of what the multiversal saga is. It'll connect to the wider MCU, but not the bigger picture of where we currently on. And I love the dialogue between Nebula and Quill, bro. That is so fucking funny. You guys, remember, when we were reading the Marvel Studios subreddit stuff, we read this trailer. Like, remember, we read this trailer scene by scene, word for word. So again, never question the mods over the Marvel Studios subreddit because they seem to, whoever it is that runs that, they seem to be spot on with it. But in typical Guardians fashion, it is going to be comical. I'm just interested, again, what the excitement for the High Evolutionary, where is that? I don't know if anybody is excited for the High Evolutionary or not, but it's going to be, it'll be interesting. And I don't know, I can't personally say that this trailer got me excited for the film. I'm still, like I said, I'm still ready to see it, but I can't say that it got me, damn, bro, I can't wait till May to see this film. Like, when it gets here, I will see this film. Like, but it does look good. It does look good. It doesn't look bad. It looks good. It looks like it's going to be a fun film. And again, I don't think that this film will have any consequence in the bigger picture. I just don't. And they've shown a lot of Rocket in this, which leads me to believe even more so that Rocket is going to be one of the ones that, perishes. I don't want him to go, but a lot of us have been thinking that for a while now, way before even before the first trailer. A lot of us thought that it was going to be Drax and possibly, or Rocket and Drax, but Dave Bautista's recent comment said, don't worry, Drax is going to continue on. It just won't be played by this guy. Has led me to believe that maybe Drax survives and it's not Drax that dies. Not really sure who is going to make it in or out of or who's going to make it out of this film, but I don't want Rocket to perish. I really don't. But they have put so much emphasis on Rocket in the first trailer, and they put even more emphasis on Rocket in this trailer. And I get it. The High Evolutionary did create Rocket. I understand the emphasis on him, but knowing that someone is going to die and the emphasis put on Rocket just leads me to believe that it really is going to be Rocket. So I'm like, damn, I don't want it to be Rocket. But they've still not done anything to get me amped, like I said, to see the High Evolutionary. But again, we will see. So, as always, question is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the Super Bowl trailer that Marvel Studios released for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Did it boost your anticipation for the film? Or are you still in the same spot where you're like, it looks like it's good, I'm gonna go see it, I'll see it when I see it? Or are you like, man, after that trailer, I cannot wait to go see this film? Or are you still like me and with the High Evolutionary? Are you excited to see the High Evolutionary? Because we're talking about Adam Warlock, we're talking about the Guardians, but there's still an antagonist in this film, and it is the High Evolutionary, who they have really not put any emphasis on or gotten me excited for. But again, you may be excited. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. All right, and the next one we'll move here to is going to be The Flash. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. This trailer shocked me. It shocked me. Now, we have heard, a lot of us over here have been waiting for this trailer. A lot of us have been wanting to see what this, what's it going to be like? What is this trailer going to, how are they going to do this with Miller? Is Miller going to do, press tours for this? Is Miller going to do any of the advertising for this film? And I've been one of the ones from the beginning saying, I don't know how, it's not possible. I mean, even in the first poster they released, it's a picture of, we've all seen it, a picture of Miller's Flash in the Batcave, but he's like that big. And the reason being is because you can't advertise Miller. Regardless of how good that trailer is, Miller still absolutely, positively cannot continue on as the Flash. I want to make sure I'm putting this up front first. Before I jump into what I like about it, I want to make sure that there's no mistake being made in the things that I'm saying here. I thought the trailer was phenomenal. With that said, Ezra Miller should not and cannot continue as the Flash. I don't need to go through the laundry list of shit they have been involved in. I don't need to go through the laundry list of shit that they have done from 2018 till now. I don't need to go through all of that. Unless you've been living under a rock, if you're a DC fan, you definitely know what is going on with Ezra Miller. So with all of that being said, I wanted to make sure I said that up front at first. But this trailer was absolutely fucking phenomenal, bro. This trailer was so good. We heard, after the positive screenings, we heard before the trailer even dropped, we heard that they got a lot of positive screenings from people. We were hearing that early on. Then James Gunn himself came out and said, "This is quite possibly the best superhero comic book film ever made." And I saw some people saying, "Well, of course he has to say that. He's the CEO of DC." He didn't have to. He had no parts in making this film. He had no parts in making this film. This was something done by the previous regime. Now, I will say this in line with the shit that we were talking about with Ezra Miller and things like that. Peter Safran did come out, 2 weeks ago and said, when Miller is ready to have the conversation about his future or about their future with the DCU, we are willing to have that conversation. And again, some people have said that's just them saying that so that they don't stifle any of the film, stifle anybody from going to see the film or mess with the marketing or anything like that. He's only saying that just until this film is out and done and things like that. I don't know. I said this before. I don't know if that's just him saying that so it doesn't fuck up the marketing or fuck up the viewership for the film. I don't think so. I think that James Gunn and Peter Safran are very, very serious in wanting to possibly have a conversation with Miller after or whenever they're ready to have the conversation about their future in the DCU. And after the positive reception from this trailer, because it has been positive, if the film is just as good as this trailer is, like everybody says it is that have seen it, I would even lean more toward that they don't get rid of Miller. If the film is as successful as they want it to be, that they don't get rid of Miller. Now, I could be wrong. They could be getting rid of Miller. I don't know. Because where Gunn has come out and definitively answered other questions, they tap dance around that one. They tap dance around the Miller question. It's like, well, I don't know what Miller's doing. I think he was asked one time, he said, I don't know what Ezra's doing and things like that. That wasn't the question, though. The question simply is, will Miller still return as the Flash? That has not been answered. They have not said yes nor no. Peter Safran's latest answer was simply, when they are ready to sit down and have the conversation about their future in the DCU, so are we. So, if this is as successful as the trailer was, we could be seeing Miller return. We could honestly be seeing him return. And to all of the, to all of the other exciting things that can get us excited about this film, like Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. We're getting to see Ben Affleck as Batman one last time and things like that. I feel like the film is going to be great. I will show this trailer here because it's a fucking phenomenal trailer. A phenomenal trailer. And, honestly, outside of my personal disdain for Ezra Miller and all the shitty things that they've been involved in, that should have landed them behind bars. Again, trailer's great. So I'll play it really quick, and then for everyone, I'm sure everybody has already seen this, obviously, but we'll go ahead and play this really quick. Yeah, that trailer's fucking phenomenal, bro. That trailer is phenomenal. That trailer's great. I would, Sir Yuri G. You said look up the TV spot. I can't, though, because Warner Brothers are complete fucking bitches. God. And blocked that. I'm going to have to trim that out of the whole fucking stream. Because what I don't understand from Warner Brothers is, you released a fucking trailer. People are going to react to it. Stop being so fucking hard on your fucking content. That shit's that makes me not want to honestly, I say this every time. It makes me not want to pull up any fucking thing DC does on my channel. I'll talk about articles and shit, but when they drop trailers, it makes me not want to react to them on the channel, because all Warner Brothers ever does is fucking block your shit. That's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. It is fucking bullshit. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. That's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. There's no way that this shit should be getting blocked. And what I want to know is how other channels like Real Rejects and other channels that react to this, how the fuck did they upload this shit? Did they get blocked? How did they upload this shit? Again, it's weird, bro. Warner Brothers, you need to check yourselves. You need to check y'all's fucking selves. I would, Sir Yuri G, because I know which one you're talking about. I know the TV spot you're talking about. I would, but Warner Brothers is gonna fucking fuck us again, so we're just not. Anyway, phenomenal trailer, fucking beautiful. For me, the thing that gets me here. Now, you guys know, I was never one that said I need to go see Flash the day it comes out. I always said I will see Flash when I see the Flash. Obviously, I knew Michael Keaton was always connected to this. We've all known that for a while. But just like Wakanda Forever, reading about it and seeing it are two different things. Bro, when he stepped on screen as Batman again, and then we got to see him do shit that we never would have gotten to see him do in the Keaton films because of the CGI and the way that the way the technology has advanced. Seeing the CGI fight between him and the soldiers down there at the bottom, bro, oh my gosh. That was so fucking... And I want to show it again. I really, really do. But again, Warner Brothers. That was so dope. That was so dope. This trailer, again, completely shocking. Honestly, outside of my personal disdain for Ezra Miller, like I said, that this trailer was fucking phenomenal. And thank you so much for the subscription, Antonio Films. Appreciate you subscribing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I actually am. I'm looking forward to this. It looks like it's going to be epic. It looks like it is going to be one of the greatest superhero films that we've seen, honestly. Like I said, the main thing for me is Michael Keaton back as the Caped Crusader, bro. That is dope. And then you got to see... Obviously, this is showing that Keaton's Batman has been still continuing on as Batman in his own universe outside of the things that we got to see in his films. Why? Because we've seen the multiple bat suits that he had. Batman, bro. I love Batman. I love Batman. And that shit is just so dope. It's dope. You know, I know a lot of people don't really know, like the average viewer may not know what's going on with Miller and things like that. So a lot of people may just be going like me, may just be going for Batman, may just be going for Keaton. Like, I'm going for the story. Obviously, it looks like it's going to be dope. But Keaton for me is the draw. Keaton for me is what's getting me in the theater during the premiere. I think we're actually going to go see this during the premiere. I haven't told everybody, but I think we're actually going to go see this during the premiere. I don't think we're going to go see this like the day after or the day or whatever. I think we're going to go see this during the premiere because for me, Keaton is the draw. Keaton is what's putting my black ass in a seat. I can't wait to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. That shit was dope. I can't wait to see Supergirl. I can't, because this is a version of everything. This is a universe where if Kal-El, Superman did not come. Instead, they got Kara. They got Supergirl. And this is why This is why Zod is showing up and things like that. That's kind of what's going on here. So it's really cool. It's really cool. I took them, how long have they been working on this film? Since what, the 70s? Took them a long time to get this shit out. Obviously exaggerating. Took them a long time to get this shit out, but it looks like it's going to be great. Like I said, she looks fantastic as Supergirl. Michael Keaton looks great as Batman. Back as Batman. We get to see our last, honestly, this too. Ben Affleck. Seeing Ben Affleck in the gray and blue bat suit. Bro. Dope. Which again pisses me off that for me, I know a lot of people don't like Ben Affleck's Batman. It's my favorite Batman. For me, I still wanted to see Affleck continue as Batman, so that really sucks that this is the last time we're getting it, and he looks so fucking good in that fucking suit, bro. But we don't get it. We don't get to see it anymore. So it's really sad. But I think that also looks dope. But you guys let me know down below what you guys thought of the trailer. What are your guys' thoughts on everything that happened within this trailer? What are you guys thinking about, Ezra Miller and the position that they are in? Are you thinking that people aren't going to go see the film because of Miller? Or are you thinking that people aren't really giving a fuck about Miller? Like me. And it's one of those things where Michael Keaton's Batman has returned. I'm going simply to see this for Batman. Because even Chris Carr over at on the John Campea show, she's been saying for a long time, this is the Batman Flashpoint, because they've only been really advertising Batman. They put heavy advertising on Batman. Even the posters, even the character posters that came out, Batman is looking into the camera, where Barry Allen, Ezra Miller, is looking down, because you really can't advertise Miller. I've been saying this. I've been wondering how they were going to do this, but you guys let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of the Flash trailer. I know a lot of people are in the comments saying already it's fantastic. People have been saying it all over Twitter. Hell, I said it. It's fantastic. I really do want to see this film. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Let's see here. What's going on? Let's see what you guys are seeing. We had a lot of people talking on the Flash one. Let's see. Ooh, we have a lot of talk on the Flash one. Okay. Now remember, I'm not going to be able to touch everyone's, but if you got something you want to say that you put up here, I would probably put it down at the bottom. But I'm going to... Gosh, you guys went in on this one. In on this one. Okay, here we go. Xavier said, the trailer is awesome. Still not supporting Miller, though. I feel you. Mega095 said, Miller may do the promotions. There's at least photos of Ezra and director Andy in Los Angeles. Okay. Andy Muschietti and Miller. Raymond said, listen, I wasn't expecting that trailer to be that good. I think Ben is staying as Batman. Thank you, Black Jesus. I would hope so. I just don't think so. I would hope so, though. Tank said, the Flash is third best character in this movie. Yeah. You know what, Tank? That's a great way to put it. Yes, he's the third best character in this movie. For me, it's Michael fucking Keaton's Batman. That's just me. That's just me, man. I cannot wait to see him back as the Cape Crusader. Especially doing, bro, it's not, this isn't the, when did those films come out? Was it the 80s and 90s, I want to say? This ain't that time. Technology, we saw it. We saw it firsthand. When he said, yeah, I'm Batman, then dove down there and beat the shit out of them. We never saw Keaton's Batman. We saw Keaton's Batman turning all stiff neck like this and shit in the movies. He ain't doing that shit no more, bro. He looks like, bro, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Keaton as Batman. Official EMG said, love the trailer so much. Keaton, Affleck, and Supergirl were awesome. Yes. Raymond said, Ezra Miller can kick rocks respectfully. Gray said, HBO Max exclusive. Jeezy says, Supergirl for the W. I agree. She looked great. I can't wait to see her see more of her in the suit, like doing some more shit, bro. Dougie Fresh said, this movie is looking like some heat. It really does. Ashera said, I'm going to go watch for Mike. Yes, the Michael Keaton Batman nostalgia. Yes. Raymond said, and we got blue and gray Batman, bro. I know. It's so exciting. It's exciting. It's weird to have excitement for DC. What the fuck? Is that happening? Yes, bro. I'm excited. I really can't wait to see it. D Stizzle said, I can't stand Ezra Miller's face, and there's at least 2 of them in this film. Mind of Inception said, Keaton's Batman looks phenomenal in it. Yes, he does. J-Rob said, I always felt Ezra was wrong he was never a good Barry. A role of Barry even before his nonsense. His Barry was more Bart. Sir Yuri G said, let's all keep it 100 here. If anyone is going to see this movie, and I won't knock them for doing so, it's not to see The Flash, it's to see Batman, Affleck, and Keaton. Right, that's the only reason I'm going. Only reason I saw Black Adam in theaters, because I was going to wait the 45 days till it came to HBO Max, was because the rumors no longer became rumors about Henry Cavill's post-credit scene. I said, no. I have to see this on the IMAX screen. I can't see this in my room. I got to see this on the IMAX screen. That was the only reason I saw Black Adam. The only reason I'm going to see The Flash is for Michael Keaton's Batman. That's literally it. Xavier Phoenix said, if they are dumb enough to put Ezra on the press tour, they deserve the smoke coming. I'm going to skip down a little bit here. We're going to start here with Kenny. I'll start with Valley Superb, where he said, that young boy runs just as weird as Ezra. Kenny said he needs to have a conversation with the FBI about cult leading and grooming allegations. Not cool, bro. Very true. Very true. I mean, you can drop everything else Miller has done. It's the grooming. Now, I'm not saying dismiss what they've done. The highlight of everything they've done is the grooming. How do you look past that part? How do you look past the grooming of a child? Charlie said, "What up? I know the show. I know that show with James Gunn made. It's just now in Star Wars and Clone Wars. The best actor in Clone Wars in the show happened just now. I'm trying to keep up." And Ben say playing Batman to the Supergirl. Bro, you got to resend that. You got to have to resend that one to me. I'm not sure what that one was saying. So Yuri G said, Keaton is my all-time favorite Batman. When I saw him, I was hyped as hell. Yeah. So was I. Felicity said, people aren't seeing the movie for Ezra. That's true. That's why Keaton was featured. Ezra is done after the movie comes out. They want to make max dollars on the film and don't need any more bad PR. Period. That's I agree. I mean, well, to an extent, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't know if Miller's done. I need them to tell me Miller's done. You know, I get it. I get it. That's probably why Peter Safran didn't answer that question full on and say no or yes, they're done, because they don't want any more bad PR. I get that's probably why James Gunn probably also has not definitively answered that question, because they don't want any more bad PR. But after this film, after it's raked in the money, after they've done, if they do not come out and say, because they're going to be asked again. They're going to be asked again. If someone asks them after this film comes out on Twitter, does Miller continue as the Flash, and they give these tap dancing, walking on eggshells, running around the question answer, I'm not convinced that Miller's not coming back. I will not be convinced that Miller's not coming back. As of right now, I definitely agree with you on the PR, not wanting, negative media attention and things like that. Maybe that's why they've given the answer they've given. We'll have to wait and see. Dougie Fresh said the trailer is so beautiful. Staple Blocks 40 said, I have 3 children and they keep me hoping, but I watch you guys even when I don't comment. I appreciate what you're building. I'm going to listen now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. That really means a lot. Thank you. Mind of Inception, not talking to me. Stevie L said, I saw the clip of the Hall of Bar Suits. Ish was dope. Yeah, bro, it was dope. It looks so good. I hope we get like a longer extended, scene looking at all of them in the movie. Antonio Film said that question, I wonder, is he taking Keaton's Batman to his Snyder universe? As far as I'm concerned, well, as far as we know, is the Snyderverse not dead? I think it's gone. I'm pretty sure it's gone. I mean, Zack Snyder did last week come in and give his full support for the James Gunn's rebooted DCU. Kind of pissed a lot of, actually didn't piss a lot of Zack Snyder fans off. They definitely did some type of weird conspiracy theory as to why he said that. But hey, no. I think the Snyderverse is gone though. Astra said this is going to be better than Spider-Man 3. Ooh. I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Omega Zero said, sucks Henry is not in the Flash. I know, sucks they cut his ass. Dougie Fresh said, I need to watch the Keaton movies. What? You haven't seen them? Yes, go watch Keaton's films. Go watch the Keaton Batman films. They are great. Love them. Double M said, Michael Keaton, the best Batman. He honestly is. Out of all the Batmans they've had, in the past, from Clooney to Kilmer to all, Keaton's the best. Keaton is the best. Raymond 2000 said, could we be looking at possibly the greatest DC movie since The Dark Knight or practically of all time? Until I see it, I can't say of all time. I know that's why you said could we. I know. That's why you said could we. I have such a love for The Dark Knight. Me being biased would, even if this film, I would be so biased. I even if this film is that great, I would say it's still not better than The Dark Knight. I'm so biased when it comes to The Dark Knight. Like, I remember when people were trying to make the conversation or have the argument that the Batman was better than Dark Knight. I'm like, what? Take several seats. The Batman it's great. It's great. It ain't no Dark Knight. It ain't no Dark Knight. So I don't know. Maybe me being biased, I'm still gonna say no. But mileage may vary for some. Maybe. Stevie said, "See Flash wanna mess with time travel now. He then messed up everything." Then we got Kenny that said the Keaton Batman movies don't hold up very well. Bro uses the gets shot, pretend to be dead trick like 6 times. Let's see. Let's see. Let's start with. Oh, I'm going to move down a little bit more. We're going to move down here to see Jeezy, where he said, finally someone directed a Flash. They directed a Flash actor properly. So Yuri G said, Oh, he said he's going to put the pic in Discord. He's going to put the pic in Discord. Okay. Then we've got D Stizzle. Oh, sorry. I'm laughing. That must have been when I was saying what I was saying about WB. Officially MG said, Sasha Callie as Kara looks so good. Like, damn. Yep. And I love how excited she's been on Twitter. She has been over the hills excited about this on Twitter. And I hope for her, she does get to continue on as Supergirl, because it's really just an unfair deal that she was dealt. You know, she was not a part of any of Miller's antics or anything like that. But, or not just that. She wasn't a part of. She didn't really get to. She didn't get to put her stamp on Supergirl and things like that outside, other than what we're about to see in The Flash. So I hope that she does get to continue on for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna skip down. The Dre and Jay said seems to follow more of an Infinity Crisis storyline than a Flash story. Instead of a dead Bruce and Thomas Wayne version of Batman, we're getting an alternate version. Same thing with Supes as well. Yeah, that's true. That is true. You know, I always, even before the reboot, I always thought starting with the Flashpoint was a little weird. But let's see. Valley Superb said the fact that the bat suit still looks good with small tweaks for 2023 is dope. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to move down a little bit more because I do have one more topic that I want to get with you guys on. But I do have to be out. You guys know I have to get up at fucking 5 a.m. to be at work at 6. Ashra said, Planet Fanatics, I meant better than Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness from MCU, since they actually do a version of it. Oh, okay. DJ FNI said, I think this movie is going to have Black Adam action, but with a different story. And Black Adam action was great, honestly. I called it the best action-packed superhero film of the year. It wasn't the best superhero film of the year, but as far as action goes, I thought it was great. Ashra said, which Dark Knight, Joker or Rise? Joker. Joker is the best one for me. Double M said, Christian Bale villains outshined him in his own movie. Yeah. Let's see. J-Rob said, Keaton played a great Batman, but his Bruce was just him playing himself. Ben had the best of both. That Batfleck warehouse scene alone wiped the floor with everything that came before it. Ben Affleck's Batman is my favorite Batman. He's my favorite Batman. I know a lot of people don't really like him as Batman. I hate that we didn't get his solo Batman film. He is my favorite Batman. Sir Yuri G said, you know what sucks? We could have gotten more of Keaton as Batman if the Batgirl movie got released. Yep. But you know what? Like Peter Safran said, that film wasn't releasable, and he said it would have hurt, the actors and actresses, as well as hurting WB, and then would have possibly even hurt DC, because DC is already in a negative place right now. Imagine if we all would have seen Batgirl and it's as bad as it was as bad as what they say it is, as far as not being ready for viewership. Then that could have possibly turned even more people off to DC, to where even more people have been like, yeah, I'm done, bro. I'm just done. But I wish we would have gotten to see a perfected version of whatever they wanted it to be come out for sure. J2 Savvy said, this movie will be James Gunn's greatest success. Watch. I think it's going to be great. Hungry Almighty said, the way Keaton's Batman was moving is what I expect for whoever the new DC Batman is. Also, Oliver Jackson Cohen is my pick for the new DC Batman. Yeah, I love the CGI movement there for Keaton's Batman for sure. Ashra said, why couldn't Snyder get out of his comfort and direct a movie we all fans could like? You know, Snyder's vision is dark, bro. It's dark. I love the Snyder cut. Don't get me wrong, but there are still things about the Snyder cut I don't like. I hate how Snyder feels like they have to slow DC in general. Feels like they have to slow everything down. And not only that, I hate how dark Zack's films are. You know, for Rebel Moon, I'm waiting to see some things for Rebel Moon, but I'm interested to see what Rebel Moon is going to look like from Snyder. But I agree. I definitely agree. The last one here from Antonio Film said, "Nah, I didn't want to see a trash TV Batgirl. It's too bad the two brothers directors did the highest selling Bad Boys movie." Right, and they also did Miss Marvel as well. We'll see. We'll see if they get to come back. I know Peter Safran talked about that extensively, but we will see. But I do have a little bit of time here. I want to go in on this with you guys. Quickly here. I want to go in on this with you guys. So Anthony Mackie has come out and given some news about when we can be expecting to see them start shooting for Captain America New World Order. Now, we know a lot of things about Captain America New World Order. Captain America New World Order, we know, is going to be, from what they've said now, we called it, but they have now officially said it, that Captain America New World Order is going to be akin to Civil War. There are going to be a lot of different individuals in this film. We know that the film already holds 5 villains. We also know that the film is going to but the film is also going to cameo Bucky in this film. We also know that this film is going to start building the new Avengers. We know that Sam is going to be building the new Avengers team within this film. We also know that Thunderbolt Ross's Red Hulk will be in this film. We also have heard rumors that Betty Ross is supposed to show up in this film. We know that the Leader is in this film. We know that Tiamat Island, or not Tiamat Island, it's not called Tiamat Island, that's supposed to be mentioned in this film as well. Not seeing it, it's supposed to be played more heavy in Thunderbolts, but it's supposed to be mentioned in this film. Who else do we know? We know that the new Falcon, I forget his name, is supposed to be in the film. We know that Val is in the film. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm getting that mixed up with Thunderbolts. Val's in Thunderbolts. She's not in this film. We know that this film is packed heavy surrounding a powerless Captain America. Now, Anthony Mackie talks about himself not having powers as Captain America, and we're going to get into that. The first thing we're going to get into, though, is this article from the Direct. I'm going to only read the first part because the second part is a video, and it's where Anthony Mackie himself is discussing everything. This is in an interview, in a new interview with Marvel Cinematic Universe, new Captain America Anthony Mackie gave an exciting update on the upcoming 4th film in the franchise, New World Order. The upcoming 4th movie in the franchise will aim the spotlight on Sam Wilson's new Captain America while also delivering on several things fans have wanted to see for a long time. For example, not only has Harrison Ford joined the MCU with his role as a recast General Ross in New World Order, but the iconic actor will supposedly become the Red Hulk by the time the movie ends. So I think Val is in it. As a matter of fact. I think she is. Additionally, rumors indicate that a key plot... actually, I don't think she is. A key plot point in the film will be the introduction to adamantium. That's right, it's adamantium because Tiamat Island is supposed to be full of... it's adamantium. He is made of adamantium, so that's where they're getting adamantium from. A fictional metal like vibranium, which is known to be what Wolverine's claws are made of. But when will they start filming? Well, Anthony Mackie has answered that question, so we'll watch that here.
Where are you guys in the process on New World Order?
We start in about 2 months.
Okay.
March. Yeah, 2 months. We'll be up. What month is this? We start in about a month. My bad. It's not January. We start in about a month. So it's we're just kicking it off, and everybody's getting squared away and ready to go.
Have you had to explain the MCU to Harrison Ford yet?
You know what? I'm going to give him a full breakdown, and we're going to compare notes. I'm very excited about it.
How's your approach to that mantle going to depart most dramatically from Chris's?
Well, I think with my Cap, he's not a superhero. He doesn't have a super serum. So his superpower is his humanity. So I think with him, he has to come to the stage with a very different understanding of what it is to be a good guy or a bad guy, and what are the decisions that, you know, you toe that line in the way that you did. So, you know, I just see him as more of a humane Cap as opposed to a distinctive judge, a Cap of judgment, where this is right and this is wrong. There are decisions that make you choose right or wrong.
And we know he's going to have better taste in music.
And a flyer costume, because, you know, it's leg day every day, baby. So we're going straight spandex. None of this cotton stuff. We're doing straight spandex.
Okay, before I jump into the other stuff, this is what the last part of the article had to say. With Captain America New World Order set to start in less than 2 months, it will be set to join a handful of MCU projects filming at the same time. Currently, Catherine Hahn's Agatha Coven of Chaos is filming in Atlanta, Georgia in March alongside New World Order. Marvel Studios' Wonder Man is also set to begin production at the end of that month. The series will star Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and will be set in Hollywood. It even has Ben Kingsley returning as Trevor Slattery. After that, Thunderbolts gets rolling in June. One would have to imagine that Blade would also start back up within the same time frame as well. Right? Yet another movie to start production by the summer of this year is Deadpool 3, which brings together both Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in what sounds like an insane multiverse adventure. Hopefully, New World Order won't find itself fighting this for studio spots. Captain America New World Order is set to hit theaters on May 3rd, 2024. I laughed at him saying that his Cap is going to be his superpowers. He's more humane. Okay, you know, one of the things I've been saying here is how a powerless man gets a group of powerful beings to rally behind his cause. That's what's going to be yet to be seen. Because even without Steve's abilities, Steve gave some hands down best motivational fucking speeches. Like the way Iron Man, the way Tony looks at him in Endgame before they go into the quantum realm and go, you know, travel back through time and everything like that. Or I'm sorry, when they start traveling back through time, rather. After Steve gives that speech, Tony looks at him like, damn. Oh, I mean, hell, Rocket even said, did he make that up on the fly? Pretty good stuff, you know, or whatever was said. Like, Steve could motivate you, even if you didn't have superpowers, to believing that you could beat the shit out of Thanos. Steve could do that with Anthony Mackie's Captain America, Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson. I've said this from the start. One, I'm not a big Anthony Mackie fan. I don't think he has the chops to be a leading man and lead a film like that. That's just me. Two, I'm not a fan of the MCU's version of Sam Wilson. I don't like what they've done so far with him. And it sounds like to me, you know, maybe he's just not saying anything, but it sounds like to me that they're going to keep it that way. That, like he said, he doesn't have the super soldier serum. He's going to remain that same way. And I'm just like, hey, man. Okay. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Bro, they've got to, I don't know. You guys know I've had my trepidations for New World Order. You know, all the stuff that's going on in New World Order, it sounds fun. It sounds dope. It's it's New World Order's main character for me that's like everything. It's the main character. What are we supposed to be doing to get me interested in your version of the main character? Yeah, I mean, this was not on the list of things to share today with you guys, but after I saw that he actually talked about it himself in the interview, a video interview, I was like, oh yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll squeeze this in. We'll talk about it because we've talked about New World Order a lot lately. We've talked about how it doesn't sound like a Captain America film. You know, just like Civil War is. Nah. Civil War is still a Cap film. It's still centered around Cap. You have all the other elements in there that you have, but at the heart of that film, it is still a Steve Rogers Captain America film. So, can this be that? Can they take Captain America New World Order with Anthony Mackie and make it, at the heart, a Captain America film. Because even with No Way Home, you had everything going on in No Way Home that you had, but at the heart, it was still a Tom Holland Spider-Man film. And I don't know. Maybe they can do that. Maybe they can't with Captain America New World Order. But I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to share with you guys Anthony Mackie's most recent comments on everything. The things that he was, that he had to say about it. Yeah. It's still not on my most anticipated list. It's still not there. Oh, but we'll see. But, your mileage may vary. Question is for you. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What are you guys thinking of Anthony Mackie's most recent comments on New World Order? What are you thinking about him saying that his Captain America is not, doesn't have superpowers? His superpower is humanity. He's humane, and things like that. He is not trying to judge good and bad. He is just a human. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking about, the five villains, or rumored 5 villains that we're supposed to get. I know for sure one of them is Red Hulk. Another one of them is the leader. I forget who the other 3 were. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked New World Order. But what do you also think about, Sebastian Stan showing up as Bucky? That's kind of Stan showing up as Bucky. That's kind of been talked about within the past few days, that Bucky was going to be showing up in this film now. And they kind of always knew that just because of their relationship. Obviously, he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier and things like that. It just always made the sense for Bucky to show up in this film. But you guys let me know down below what you guys are thinking. See what y'all are saying. Let's see. Ashra said Captain America Mackie suit doesn't look good off comic pages. Yeah, I didn't really like the way it looked in I didn't really. Let me see it. Yeah. For me, it's Anthony Mackie. I'm sorry. It's Anthony Mackie for me. I am not an Anthony Mackie fan. I'm not. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not an Anthony Mackie fan. It's Mackie in the suit for me. Let's see. Raymond said, this is really a Hulk movie. They're lying to us, pulling another Serpent Society. Kenny said, cover the whole body except the brain cage. D-Stizzle said, waiting to see if that Diamondback rumor is true. Bro, I think it is, because Serpent Society at one point was rumored to be the main villains in what was originally Captain America's Serpent Society, but now, remember, they changed that because remember, we talked about that. Moon Knight was even supposed to be in this shit. I'm glad that's been scrapped. Seems like the Serpent Society is still going to be a part of this. So maybe they're one of the 5 villains. Or the group? Or is it just Diamondback that's rumored? I thought the group was rumored. I don't know. But the Serpent Society is still rumored to be in this. Gray said in his own movie. Antonio Film said Falcon and Winter Soldier had some great stunts from Falcon. He got a suit, no powers needed. I like the suit. Oh, I wouldn't say no powers needed, but I like the suit. Well, I like the stunts that he did, that we saw him doing in Falcon and Winter Soldier, rather. Like the opening of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the very first episode where he's chasing after Backtrot, and we see him go through the helicopter and things, the way that he's chasing down the helicopters. I thought that shit was dope. That's really one of the only things you're going to hear me say good about Falcon and Winter Soldier, honestly. Sang Beto said, LOL, Sam is a side character in his own film. Sidekick forever. Sidekick forever. Raymond said he don't even know what month it is. What year is it, Antonio? Let's see. D-Stizzle said Mackie's hairline has been in full retreat. Dougie Fresh said humanity is a superpower for Superman and Steve Rogers. That doesn't make me excited for Falcon America. That's a very good bingo. Kenny said protect your brain and wear a helmet. Ashera said his humanity, LOL, right? Raymond said, is that John Winston next to... I don't know. I have no idea who's next to him. Let's see. Zangbeto said, look at the pain in his eyes. He's still coping. J-Rob said, bro, just give us Patriot. Yeah, just give us Patriot, honestly. Ashera said, his superpower is being broke. A broke Avenger helped save the world, huh? Couldn't get a bank loan for his poor sister. That single black poor sister with 2 kids. Single parent. Dan the Man said, well, Lupita thinks TJ is the right person to succeed T'Challa. In other news, water is wet. And I'm going to go watch paint dry. D. Stizzle said, the majority... Where was I? Fuck. The majority of Marvel's superheroes are human. MCU Sam can't even communicate with birds. This is Ultimate Sam. Yes, this is the Ultimate Universe Sam. That's why I'm not checking for it. It's just like okay. Gray said, if you get hit, get back up. If you get killed, walk it off. Yeah, that doesn't really work for this Sam, does it? Ashra said, you gotta do better. Let's see. Raymond said he can't even lead his hairline. I'm sorry, that was mean. I'm tired. We're gonna jump down some. I'm gonna jump down here to. Let's jump down to. I'll jump down to Antonio. I'll jump down to Dan the Man here, where he said, "I'm just gonna guess you either wanted Bucky to become Cap. No. Or let Steve stay as Cap. Going by the MCU, it makes no sense for Bucky to become Cap. He killed Tony's parents. I never wanted Bucky to be Cap. I wanted Bucky to just be Bucky. I don't give a fuck about him being Cap. I don't have a problem with Sam Wilson being Cap. I mean, he's Cap in the comics. I have no issues. It's Mackie for me. It's Mackie, and it's also the point that he just said. His superpower is humanity. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear that shit. My superpower is humanity? Okay. Antonio Film said, I liked his suit, but it was a little bulky around the neck. Yeah, I didn't like how it bent and everything around the neck. Grace said, Sam's got a shot with all that white in his costume. Let's see. Underhaven said, what's wrong with Anthony Mackie? You just don't care for the acting? I think that's what it is. I honestly think that's what it is. I think I just don't care for Anthony Mackie's acting. I mean, there are moments, bro, where I don't mind Anthony Mackie in the MCU as Sam. There are moments where I really don't. Like the whole, like in Civil War, when he was talking to T'Challa, and he said, so, what did he say? So you just like dressing up a cat, or what's the story? Whatever he said. And then Steve's told him, Sam, and he was like, no, dude running around like a cat, you don't want to know the answer, stuff like that. Like, or when Bucky said, can you scoot up? And he said, no. Like, there are moments, bro. There are moments with Anthony Mackie as Sam that I like. I'm just not big on Mackie like that. Let's see. How many more people? Let's see. Okay. Hungry Almighty said, wait, Bucky really is going to be in New World. That's the rumor. That's... Actually, is it even so much a rumor anymore? Let me see. Hold on. It might not even be a rumor anymore. Okay. Fucking. Oh, yeah. This is so off topic because I just saw it because I'm going to check and see if this is still a rumor. Y'all see they're rebooting Barney? You see what the fuck he looks like? I don't like it. I grew up. I had a Barney birthday party when I was a little kid. Like, what? I don't like it. I don't like the way he looks. Let's see. Sebastian Stan. What did he say? He said... that's talking about the Thunderbolts movie. Okay, so it may still just be a rumor right now, but the rumor is he is showing up in New World Order. If so, is it just a quick cameo? I've also heard it's a cameo. It's not. I don't know how quick. I've heard it's a cameo. I don't think he's staying. or like an actual supporting role with a good amount of screen time, like what Robin is to Batman or Black Canary to Green Arrow. No, I think it's just a cameo. I don't think it's a full-time thing. At least that's just what I've seen. D. Sizzle said Serpent Society was the fake title for Civil War. Makes sense for them to be villains. See, Jeezy, yes, I remember that. I remember that when Feige unveiled that and it said Serpent Society. I remember that. It was a while back. See, Jeezy said, I feel a lackluster script will not be challenged by Mackie. Probably not. Let's see. Astra said, I don't think Backtrack is dead. I don't think so either. Bulletproof Vest, since Sharon didn't aim for the head. I don't think he's gone either. JD75 said, not excited about the new Captain America with Anthony. He's like a flat drink, just not doing it for me. Didn't do it for me either. Raymond said, if I'm saying this person's name right, Ja Winston was one of the new edition members in the BET miniseries. He was in the Netflix show. He was in a Netflix show, and he was young Simba on Broadway. Who was he in the new edition miniseries? I remember the miniseries. I did watch the miniseries. I don't remember him though. Well, first of all, I can't even really see his face in this, so I'm not sure. Dan the Man said, Sam is supposed to have telepathy with a bird, but I'm not mad at them for making Sam the best of us. Yeah. Let's see. Antonio Film said, I keep hearing Chris Evans is returning. I doubt it will be for this. Prob the Multiverse Avenger. Yeah, it's not for this. I don't think it's for this at all. But it definitely for Secret Wars, more than likely. Dougie Fresh said, they're rebooting everything. Yeah, they are. Dan the Man said, they couldn't just find someone else to put in. Well, that's my question too. If you're talking about Barney. I think you're talking about Barney. This is what I was saying. It seems like Hollywood just doesn't have as creative minds anymore. What's with all the reboots? Why reboot Barney? And why does he fucking look like that? Raymond 2000 said, Barney looks like one of those cartoon Disney, yes, ripoffs you buy at, bro, that is spot on. You know those those DVD bins that are like at the Dollar General and all that kind of that's what that looks like. Like, buy one, get 4 free. That's what the fuck it looks like. That's what he looks like. That is so spot on. Zeng Beto said, they should have stayed with Barney's classic design. Definitely. Let's see. Bo said the MCU wants a Batman, but it's not Falcon/Captain America. Yeah, no. Gray said, or Ant-Man 991 said, don't get me started on Barney. They're destroying my childhood. That's what I'm saying. I grew up on Barney. I saw Barney in concert, bro. Like, Barney came here to Norman, to the Lloyd Noble Center on OU campus, where they do a lot of like graduations and things for OU and all that, and the high schools. I saw Barney in concert at the Lloyd Noble Center. I saw Sesame Street in concert at the Lloyd Noble Center. My mom, if we could do it, bro, we did it. And she knew I loved Barney, so she definitely took me to see Barney. Grace said, I think Sam is going to have to get a blood transfusion from Isaiah Bradley because having humanity isn't going to cut it. Andre Ware said, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Sam Wilson is Falcon. Don't understand why Marvel has to change things. Raymond said, a recasted said to me, a reboot is a new interpretation of an idea in an independent universe. In all MC universes, Chadwick Boseman recast would be the canonical version. Oh, an anti-recaster. Oh, I give them no energy. Fuck that shit. D Stizzle, I was about to say a recaster's in there. D Stizzle said, or MCU Batman equals Nighthawk. Yeah. Professor Fam said it's hard to see Falcon as a leading character when he has been a sidekick for so long. He's always on the left. Raymond said he played Ralph and he was also on Queen and Slime. Oh, he played Ralph? Oh, okay. J. Rob said, Mackie don't care about the script or these characters. Dude literally says, cut the check after every take. Nate Moore loves this guy. Ashra said, what does Barney look like? I didn't see. I'll pull it up in just a second. Raymond said, just for the record, NYC has a Dollar General, but not a damn Walmart. What? You have a Dollar General, but not a Walmart. Or a Cracker Barrel. That's the problem. Wow. Hungry Almighty said, Falcon and really? You don't have a Walmart? Falcon and Winter Riders was terrible. Becky wants to apologize to the father of a victim he killed. So his bright idea is to become friends with him so that he can apologize later. Who wrote that? Raymond said, I liked Barney a little bit. He was scary. I was a Bear in the Big Blue House fan and saw them live. I also liked a Big World too. I don't know Big World. Mega095 said Marvel should play those Taio Cruz, Ludacris, Neo, and Chris Brown decent songs back in those days for Captain America 4 soundtrack. Generation these days need to listen to those hits in theaters. And then D Stizzle said, I got no problem with Sam not having the serum because Bucky didn't have the serum when he was Cap. And then Dougie Fresh said the new Barney looks fine to me. All right, I'll show you guys the new Barney for those asking. He does look like Raymond put it the best for me. He does look like that damn Dollar Tree DVDs that you pick up. Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination. And when he's called is what we call a dinosaur sensation. Alright, there he is. There's Barney. That's what he looks like now. He looks like he's about to go hang out with the fucking backyardigans. Like, what? They really changed my guy. They really switched it up on him. Look at him. They changed him. He looks like he's about to go sing with the backyardigans. He looks like he could be one of the newest members of the back. Is the backyardigans still a thing, or is that like not a thing anymore? That may not be a thing anymore. I don't know. Yeah, there he is though. Barney the dinosaur is getting a reboot. I'm actually so interested. I have to know what the Hollywood Reporter is saying because I'm interested. What are they saying? In the age of reboots, perhaps it was inevitable. A beloved and also revered character getting a new look and relaunch. All of which is to say, Barney is coming back. Mattel announced Monday that its relaunch of the franchise built around the purple dinosaur. The relaunch will include a preschool animated series set to debut in 2024. Barney will no longer be portrayed by a human in a T-Rex costume, and a range of consumer products aimed at the under 6 set. The relaunch will also cover possible films on YouTube content. Oh, okay. Appeal and accessories for adult fans featuring classic Barney are also in development. Really? Classic Barney. So wait a minute. Apparel and accessories for adult fans? Apparel? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hell. Hey, bro, if you want to rock around in some I love you, you love me, you do you. They said the updated Barney brand builds on a long-running Barney and Friends, which debuted nationally on PBS in 1992 and ran for 18 years, with repeats continuing for several years beyond that. The show's simple themes and songs aimed at young children and marketing made it both a pop culture touchstone and a punching bag. Barney's message of love and kindness has stood the test of time. Oh, okay. That's about all I'll read on it. It's interesting. It's interesting. So they're going to do... I mean, I'm not shocked that they're going to do films and stuff. It's for kids. Barney's for kids, bro. Like, of course. I mean, I again, in the age of reboots, sure, maybe, give this generation Barney. Let them grow up with Barney like we grew up with Barney. I hope they don't change his voice, though. Like, I hope he doesn't get like a teenage voice. Like, don't change his voice. You know what? Do I even really fucking care? I'm not gonna watch it. Why am I sitting here critiquing, like, don't change his voice, don't do this? Like, bro, I'm not watching this. I don't care. Like, I grew up on Barney. I love Barney, but bro, what? I'm not watching this. I don't really care. Let these kids, this new generation of kids have whatever they're getting with Barney. Like, it's cool. Let these kids have their version of Barney. Hell, if he can fly, let him fly. I mean, if he has a teenage voice, let him have a teenage voice. Who fucking cares? I don't care. It is what it is. So, I was interested to read that. That was pretty interesting. So, yeah, they said adult fan, CGZ, adult fan. So like I said, if you're checking for that I Love You, You Love Me apparel, hey, it's out there. Go get you some. Official MG said, I think he looks pretty good. Kids are going to love it. Kids are going to love this. And like I said, it's for kids. This is for kids. That's why I stopped critiquing it. Because it's like, what the fuck are you critiquing this shit for, bro? It is for kids. Like, this is a reboot for children. I had my time with Barney. The time I had with Barney, I fucking adored. Now, let's move it on. Let's let these new kids enjoy Barney. Like, you're absolutely correct. You know what? And the more I look at him, the more I'm like, it's fine. I don't think he looks that bad, honestly. I think the first glance I got at him, I was like, ugh, why? I think the first glance I got at him, I was still in my feelings about rebooting a beloved franchise that I grew up with. But at the same time, while sitting here critiquing it, it hit me like, nigga, why the fuck do you care? Like that shit hit me like, why the fuck do you care? So yeah, I don't know, bro. It's Barney. Blues House said, I never got into Barney. Bro, it's never too late. It's never too late. Go pick you up a copy of some Barney and get into that shit. Chill's laughing. Raymond said, at least he doesn't look like Shannon Sharp like he used to. Kenny Pierce said, of course they'd make him less creepy. It's for kids. OG Barney was... I don't think he was creepy at all. I don't think OG Barney was creepy. Ashra said, Barney has a magic bus. So now Barney's with Miss Frizzle. Raymond said, I meant what I said when I said I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kids. I meant that thing, Darius. Hey, bro, I'm with you. Me and Jeffrey, I'm here. Toys R Us is coming back. Toys R Us has already made its comeback. I believe Toys R Us is starting out in Macy's right now, but then after they accumulate some more money and accumulate more business, bigger business, then Toys R Us is going to go back to being its own individual toy stores, which I'm excited for because I collect Marvel Legends figures and DC figures, and I would like to go to a toy store rather than going to fucking Walmart, GameStop, or Target or something like that. I mean, we have a vintage toy mall here in the city that you can get a lot of like the new figures and things like that from. Even the old vintage figures, you can get a lot of them from there and stuff, but I miss Toys R Us. Let's see. Mind of Inception said, Barney gonna be on Fortnite in the future? Hell, probably. Let's see. D Stizzle said, I'm still a big kid on... Oh, yeah, so I am too. I'm still a kid. Honestly, I'm still a big kid. But I was too grown for Barney and the Teletubbies. Oh, I didn't entertain the Teletubbies. Now, you want to talk about creepy. That was creepy. Xavier said, I still remember Showbiz Pizza Place. I don't know that one. Okay, Blues House said Showbiz. Andre said Showbiz. You said Showbiz. I don't know that one. Kenny Pierce said, okay, Barney wasn't creepy and Pee Wee Herman was a cool guy. Hey, if you thought Pee Wee was cool, that's great. For me, Barney was not creepy. I thought Barney was cool. I was one of those kids, though, like, I grew up with the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Like when I went to Chuck E. Cheese when I was growing up, it wasn't a teenage Chuck E. Cheese. It was Chuck E. Cheese. It was the bird. I don't remember her name. It was the dog, the pizza guy, and I forgot another one of his gang members or whatever. And when we used to go to Chuck E. Cheese, there was a seating room with all the tables, and there was a big ass stage that had curtains that opened and closed because he did a show every like around the clock, every 15 minutes the curtains would open. They do the same generic show, but that shit was cool. Like I was such a curious kid. I didn't find that type of shit creepy, to where at the end of the show I went over to the curtains. I looked under the curtains, like, what are they doing? Because I was a kid, bro. I was a kid. So yeah, bro. Like back in the day, I never found shit like that creepy. And I did find the Teletubbies creepy. The Teletubbies were weird. Raymond said, we ain't got it here in NYC, Darius. They think because NYC kids look 20 years old that we don't need it. What about New York kids? Justice for you, New York kids. Let's see. D Stizzle says, Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese merged back in the day. It was like Marvel merging with DC. Oh, really? Okay, I'm still not sure on Showbiz Pizza. I grew up on Chuck E. Cheese, but not the Showbiz Pizza. And I had Celebration Station with the detective dog. I had Celebration Station as well. Dougie Fresh said, I was terrified of Chuck E. Cheese. I would hide under the table when he came around. I loved Chuck E. Cheese. Xavier Phoenix says, Showbiz was before Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. Skillmonger said, Barney looks like Spyro. You know, I see it. Bo Robinson said, facts. Let the kids have this. We got adult cartoons and live action fantasy shows that reference shows we grew up on. That's true. That's why I said, like, bro, this is gonna be great for kids. Like, it's a new generation for Barney for kids. Like, they'll love it. Ant-Man 1991 said, Barney, Big Comfy Couch. Oh, yeah, Big Comfy Couch, Sesame Street, Arthur are examples of my favorite childhood shows on PBS Kids when I was growing up. Yes, Big Comfy Couch for sure. Sesame Street, I was in and out of Sesame Street. I liked Arthur too. Raymond said, wait, there was a human inside Barney. Yeah, that was a costume, bro. What? Yes, that was a costume. Omega095 said, can you do Crush 40? I can't tonight. I cannot tonight, bro. And the reason I can't tonight is because I should have been off 20 minutes ago. I have to be at work at 5 a.m. I am exhaustingly tired. Omega095, I'm sorry, just read that. Again, exhaustingly tired. D Stizzle said, Showbiz Pizza had a big gorilla mouse. Oh, now that would have been scary. Chuck E. Cheese had a big mouse. Reading Rainbow, yes, Mind of Inception. That's another one. Reading Rainbow. Andre Ware said, I wanted to be on Reading Rainbow. Raymond said, I thought it was real. Okay, I'm okay. Blues House said, I grew up on Sesame Street in Kids Incorporated. I don't know. I don't think I know that one either. I grew up on like Gullah Gullah Island. Some other ones that I had. Sesame Street, Big Comfy Couch, Arthur, Barney. Do you guys remember the Gummy Bears on Disney? Gummy Bears. I grew up on Gummy Bears. I really loved the Gummy Bears. It was something else. You guys remember that show Hamtaro? Remember Hamtaro? I remember Hamtaro. It's on Cartoon Network. A lot of different shows. We'll have to do that one day. Go through a list of different shows we all grew up on. That would actually be pretty fun to do. Just kind of go back in time and have a nostalgia feel of a bunch of old shows. We can even watch we can even play like their intros and things. We might do that tomorrow. If it's a slow news day, I'm just going to add that. We might do that tomorrow. So yeah, that would be fun. So, all right, guys. I'm over my time, but I do have to go because I'm about to go. I have to get in the bed. I have to be at work at 5. Fuck. I have to be at work at 5, and like I said, I'm a boss now, so I gotta make sure that my team is on. You know, today was my second official day as supervisor, and we lost cases. Walked in to work this morning. They were the cases. I left them on my desk, and walked in this morning for them to get to Tulsa. Not fucking there. My driver didn't even go to Tulsa today because we ended up finding them. Somebody moved them. Someone touched them that wasn't supposed to touch them. We ended up finding them, but yeah, it was a whole deal, bro. It was a whole deal. So I've got to get my ass in the bed to be productive for tomorrow. So Omega Zero said his favorite cartoon is Pokemon. I loved Pokemon growing up. Well, I liked Pokemon growing up too, but I really loved the movie, the Pokemon movie where we were introduced to Mew and Mewtwo. I love that film. But like I said, appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. Appreciate, you know, all the chats. Appreciate the super chat that was given to me from Dan the Man. I think it was Dan the Man. I think Dan the Man. I think you sent that, didn't you? Was it Dan the Man that sent that super? Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Appreciate everybody that's, you know, been engaging in the chat, been talking, having fun. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate everything, guys. I really do. As I always say it. I'm humbled and just extremely blessed to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to hang out with you guys, for you guys to mess with me on the level that you do and everything. Like, it means the most to me. So thank you guys. But make sure you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be back live. It's not gonna on my solo screen. I knew it. I haven't been changing it. I'll be back live tomorrow. So if you want to come back tomorrow, you're more than welcome to joining in tomorrow's stream. You know, if you're new here, if you're just watching and you're not, maybe don't comment, we do daily streams. We are live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do giveaways on Friday, pretty big giveaways on Fridays. So if you would like to join this, you know, a vastly growing community, please do so. You can join our Discord. The link is down below in the bio, or you can hit subscription. You can hit subscribe to the channel to where you can subscribe. And if you want, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the live streams or any of the content that we're putting out over here. So like I said, appreciate all you guys being here. Appreciate you hanging out with me. As I always say, hold on, let me make sure I send y'all out right. Hold on. Make sure we send y'all out right. As I always say over here, like, subscribe, share with your friends. And I, again, love you guys so very much. So much love to you guys. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out. Much love. See you guys later.